Mm-hmm.
Alright. This is Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This is Beneath the Yawning Portal, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, a 5th edition heavy RP campaign. With me are my players, Manda, Will, Nox, and Scito. Joining us soon will also be Tiff. Alright, so we'll start with the recap from last week. And I'll go ahead and read it. Session 13. Regrouping, the party met up and lamented Katrin's condition. Roscoe considered using the King in Yellow to restore Katrin's mind, but wasn't sure he could reproduce what he had formerly done with Sardick. Sardick also found that since Katrin was carrying so much, he wasn't able to carry her over his shoulder like the others. With no other acceptable choice available, Midge revealed her druidic ability to shapeshift. She morphed into a warhorse and allowed Sardick to tie Katrin securely to her back without fear of her falling and sustaining further injury. What a smart thing to do when you put somebody on the back of a horse. Imagine what could happen if you didn't do that.
Exactly. That's like Rescue 101.
They decided to explore the immediate outpost before returning to the Yawning Portal. Roscoe noticed writing in an alcove and went to investigate it, promptly falling into a pit. Sardick retrieved him, which let him see the writing that the hand opens the eye. They realized this referred to the obelisk, a part of which was a shrine which had some items, including a lesser-known symbol of Tymora. Roscoe placed his hand on the obelisk, which drained some of his body's natural regenerative energy, and teased him with a mention of 3 monarchs and possible more information. Placing his hand upon it again, it drained more recuperative energy from him and mentioned the hoofed king and hulking queen. Growing wary, he hesitated, but Ara intervened and placed her hand on it, feeling her own recuperative energy significantly drained. It mentioned a 2-headed king, secret passages, and descent. Meanwhile, Haleth tried, but the obelisk refused to interact with him, and he started pulling Roscoe toward the obelisk while Midge pulled him back. Ara instead put her hand on it again. It scolded her for seeking too much information and leached out her life energy, making her fall unconscious. Sardick, watching from the back, leapt forward and healed her, getting her away from the obelisk. The party was more compelled to return to the Yawning Portal, with Katrin helpless and Ara having had her near-death experience. However, Roscoe convinced them to explore just a little more, near some stone tables where Midge, the warhorse, discovered a secret door. She pawed at it, and Ara tried to figure out if she wanted it opened or not. Haleth impatiently tried to open it, which they ultimately ended up doing, and went into the passage. While they were only intending to enter for a moment, Midge smelled something that triggered an old memory, causing her to go down a corridor they didn't intend and strike open a door after bruising her hoof. Inside, she encountered a were-rat she had known before, Flindle, who seemed to be acting a bit more elusive than usual. He claimed that the other were-rat accompanying him, Sylvia, was off scouting. With a bountiful gift of food to him and the other rats, the party settled in for a very long rest. Ara chastised Roscoe for seeking to consult the dubious book as the first option so often. Hurt by this, Roscoe asked Midge and Sardick their views on it. Sardick tried to delicately explain why an object so closely connected to the far realms would make people uneasy, warning him that in using it so much, the time might come when it would try to use him back. Midge, meanwhile, was feeding and tending to Katrin, who was in a shitty predicament. Really?
Really?
We are the pun squad.
Roscoe woke Ara to help clean her with her magic, and the two of them made up for the moment. Haleth, meanwhile, impatiently paced back and forth, growing more irritated at being delayed from his hunt. Before they left, Midge attempted to speak with the rest of the rats in the room, but received little information for her efforts. Likewise, Sardick, in trying to locate a significant diamond for some of his more powerful healing magics, learned only that the closest one was up in the Yawning Portal. The group passed through a corridor lined with old shields, reminiscent to where they first entered the dungeon, and turned back down, through another secret door, back into the Bugbear outpost. Walking around as he connected his map, Roscoe promptly fell down another pit, which prompted Haleth to berate the party for their foolishness, which in turn prompted Ara to snap back at him. Drawing his sharpened spoon, Haleth swore vengeance and prepared to attack. And that is where we find ourselves. And just as a reminder, I will reread the text of the obelisk as well. Hearken ye to a tale of 3 monarchs, one wearing no crown, and another wearing 2. What you seek shall be found within their domains. Dare you open your eye to know more? East of here, find the hoofed king, who rests on high in darkness eternal. Upon him feeds the hulking queen, whose dominance over this dungeon is uncontested. She will grant you the liberation of death. Dare you open your eye to know more? I cast my eye into the future and see in yours a perilous descent. South of here, beyond a secret passage, waits the 2-headed king. Look to his left. There you will see the path you are destined to take. Dare you open your eye to know more? And then once you dared to open your eye to know more again, the voice got mad at you and bad things happened.
Bad things happened.
Alright. And the party loot stuff is all sort of updated and such.
Yep, up at the top is where the running list of things are.
Yeah, Ara took those items that were at the shrine on the opposite side of the obelisk.
And everybody's updated your sheets with whatever healing potions you've acquired and such, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, great. So, hashtag hoof hype. That's right. The hoofed king. We will journey back to the dungeon now.
That's a traveling sound.
What the fuck was that?
I mean, I can tell what it was. Oh man, there's literally... Huh.
What?
Are you playing another Revenant?
What? What's
I don't know,
happening?
there's someone else in a pit with me. I've only known Revenants and Roscoe to be in pits before.
Alright, so first things first. Scito, I emailed you everything that's going on with your character. So you're in the bottom of the pit. You've been in there for an indeterminate number of time, but at least several days, you think. You're very, very thirsty and hungry. You're at half of your hit dice right now. You can't regain hit dice until you get food and drink and rest again. You have all your spells, your slots, but you don't have any of your stuff, so you don't have your spell book, so you can't change your spells until you get your spell book back, or some spell book. You can use your amulet, which is the only possession you have, beyond, you know, like a loincloth or whatever. You do have your amulet, and you can use it as an arcane casting focus, so you don't have to have components at the moment for normal spells. You're not injured,
Hooray.
other than the fact that you're at half hit dice, but your hit points are at full. And yeah, you've been in this pit for a while. The pit opens up, bright light? Not really. Actually, does Roscoe have his sword lit or not?
I think specifically no right now.
Alright, so there is no light coming in. Katrin's actually, her shield is not putting out light right now because she's... Oh wait, no, she's conscious. I guess there's no reason why her shield would have turned itself off. So her shield is still putting out light. But the light doesn't reach as far as into the pit. So it's still dark. You can't see in the dark in any way, can you, Scito?
I can actually, thanks to my nice little familiar. I can use their vision and see, and I basically have dark vision that way.
Where is your familiar?
On my shoulder.
Alright, so you've got your familiar. You can see. And anyway, Roscoe, a young half-elven man, falls into the pit, landing on the spikes with a sickening crunch. And Roscoe, you see... Well, go ahead and just describe your characters to one another, briefly.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean the half-elven dude that fell in a stream of curses and not again appears to be sort of a pretty tall, thin, dark-haired half-elf with a couple swords on him, one in his hand, and as he kind of like falls and lands, he kind of impales himself on these spikes, and he's just kind of like sitting there moaning right in front of you, and you hear voices up above as well.
All right. And as for what you see a person who was currently on their sitting down, their head in their knees, and looking up at you with a very curious expression. The person is about 6'1" with tan skin and a medium build, and yeah, with brown hair, and he basically is staring at you, wondering what's going on. And he also has an owl on his shoulder.
Can we hear enough of what's going on up there to know that Haleth is declaring war, or is it kind of us in our own little world?
Yeah, you can hear Haleth raising his voice. And you hear one word in particular. Traitors! I swear vengeance!
Oh boy.
And at this point, it is initiative time for everyone.
I can't recall if I get my initiative or if I get wolf initiative.
Oh, Tiff, you made it.
I did, yes. Also, I'm trying to remember, I am a wolf, right? What did I turn into, guys? A
Direwolf, I think.
Direwolf.
Okay, let's see what their initiative is.
Looks like it's +2.
Oh, it's the same as mine then. Perfect. Right where I want to be.
Azar, you need to click on your token.
Yeah, I know. Can you just add me into the turn tracker?
I'll just manually adjust it back to 18 that you rolled.
Thank you. Well, I guess it's not a mystery anymore. That was short-lived.
I mean, in game we still don't really know who you are, and Roscoe's probably like trying to figure out how to disimpale himself more than. I mean, he might think you're another revenant at this point, so there's still.
Or just a physical manifestation of his madness.
Yeah, are you real?
It could be any number of things, really.
Are you seeking vengeance too?
Nevermore? You chose a weird form this time.
I should give you a token for your... Well, if you decide you want to send your owl off doing weird shit, then we'll come up with a token.
Okay.
If you want to get your familiar killed like Will did.
Hey now. You're not wrong.
Quick question. In her current state, Katrin is considered incapacitated?
Yes, she is stunned.
Ah, butts. All right.
Meaning she can't move, and she is incapacitated.
Yeah. All right.
And she is tied to your back.
That part's okay. I was just hoping she wasn't incapacitated, but all right.
Alright, well, Haleth has clearly sworn vengeance and is preparing to take hostile action as far as you can tell, Sardick. What are you gonna do? Hold on. Let's get some combat music here.
Oh, technically, wouldn't I go first since my roll was an 18?
Yeah, I changed it to 18 and somehow it went back to 10. That's weird. Yeah, you would go first.
Azar has been sitting in this pit waiting for so long, it makes sense that he's like springing to action.
Considering that you are sitting in the pit, I would say you're considered prone right now.
Okay. Azar, or Azar, is going to basically look over at the half-elf and say, hello?
Ow! Again? Oh, you're a person. Can you get us up here? Can you get us?
I can. You're not with those fine fellows of Daggerford, are you?
Oh no, you're another revenant. Okay, no, please get us up. We might have to fight one of them.
Well, shouldn't we wait down here then?
I would much prefer to be up there. Is there a reason you're...
Long story. Companions had a companion, betrayed me, ran off, ended up getting captured and tossed down a pit.
That sounds oddly familiar. Look, ow. Fuck. I would much appreciate if you could get it up. It sounds like there's something going on up there. If you could get us up there, that would be...
Alright, and, he's going to sort of shrug his shoulders, and you're going to suddenly feel he's going to grab you by the arm, and suddenly your body will feel a strange lightness as you are levitated upwards.
That's convenient.
Hell yes.
As you are levitated upwards, and you all will see a suddenly rising up from behind Haleth, a human carrying a very bloodied half-elf by his arm.
This is perfect. Thank you so much.
Alright, and Azar is going to put... I still haven't decided whether I like Azar or Azar better. It'll probably change in between as I say things. It is going to
Whichever
drop
one you pick, I'm going to say it the other way.
Excellent.
And it's never been said in-game, so there's no official canon.
Is going to drop Roscoe off right behind Haleth.
Alright, you can't move laterally, though. You can just move up and down. So you can float up to the top of the pit, but in order to move after that...
Here, can you dangle me a little bit to the side so I can get my feet on it, and then I can pull you...
Actually, I'm good over the pit.
Oh. So, I guess which square... Because he can, like, swing me a little bit, right?
I mean, technically, couldn't I, if I really wanted to, just sort of push myself along the ceiling? With my other
you're
hand?
levitating all the way up to the ceiling?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can drop Roscoe off on the edge or whatever, and he can, you know, scramble onto one of the squares there next to the edge of the pit. It's alright. So yeah, you can pull yourself along the ceiling as if you were climbing.
Hello. And so basically you see this person in their small clothes.
Actually, wait. Back it up. It only lets you rise up to 20 feet.
How
It's a
deep
30-foot deep pit. You're still in the pit.
Shit.
Oh, but at that point, he could, like, reach up and, like, his fingers can grasp the edge, right? Roscoe.
So Roscoe's 6'1", which means his reach is probably like 8 feet or something like that.
Wait. Hey, Roscoe and I have the same height.
Yeah.
So you're
It's
20 feet
like
off
you
the
have my human
ground.
kind of.
And what if he was to be levitated while he was in the middle of jumping?
Capitalize on that momentum. Also, ignore me. I don't think that your wingspan is 10 feet. I don't know how arms work.
Yeah, I could maybe get like 7 or 8 probably, but
Well, yeah, I can basically, it says I can climb across the surface, so I can basically lift myself up an additional 20 feet that way, so we can wait till next turn if need be.
my chariot is halfway there then.
Alright.
In which case, you're going to have just heard maybe some weird incantations, maybe a brief bit of light shining down from below, and the sound of someone sickeningly being pulled off a spike, which I'm sure you guys are used to by this point.
Yeah. Alright, so where do you end up, Azar?
10 feet below the lip of the pit.
And that's where Roscoe is too.
Yes.
Okay. And are you doing anything else on your turn?
No, I think that's about it.
Alright, what is Sardick doing?
Okay, so Haleth has sworn vengeance against all of us.
He has.
Okay. Sardick would have been in the process of going over here as typically to rescue Roscoe, but as he passes and notices Haleth going into his rant, and especially the swearing of vengeance, which, since Sardick knows Revenant so well, it seems that he would be aware of exactly what that would entail. He'll turn to him and then snap and go, "Haleth Gark, what do you think you're doing in the name of sanity? I was the one that rescued you from the pit, and now you're swearing vengeance against us? Think of what you're doing!" I'm assuming that his Sardick's rebuttal here will have no effect on
Haleth says, "We had a deal. You have not honored it. I am tired of being betrayed."
Sardick will narrow his eyes and say, "You need to really think about this. You sound like you are too set in your ways. Your thirst for vengeance blinds you. Think about it. Think about it and see what blindness really does to someone." And in doing so, he will present his shield up against Haleth, and he will call upon
Haleth
something
yells out, "Vengeance is all that I am!" He calls upon what?
He was going to call upon blindness deafness, which seems not to be functional for some reason in my spell list. Let me see.
Hashtag making shit up.
There we go.
What is that, second level? Yeah.
Yeah, that's level 2.
Alright. Are you choosing to blind or deafen?
He's saying that he's already blinded by his vengeance, so now see what it feels like to really be blinded. And so he's choosing blind.
I was gonna say, and then he deafens him.
Fortunately, he does save.
+7, come on, dang.
Yeah, Revenant, pretty good con save. So it doesn't do anything, sadly.
All right. Okay. Can Sardick potentially turn and attempt to get Roscoe out of the pit without being stabbed by the spoon of...
Yeah, you're right by the pit. Although... you've kind of used your action casting that, so...
Yeah. If not, then that's fine.
And Roscoe is still 10 feet down. I mean, it's a few feet. I'd say you could potentially reach him.
Like, close enough that if Sardick's reaching out, Roscoe could use his action to kind of clamber out? Or...
Well, Sardick would have to use an action to, like, reach down and grab you. But if Sardick's kind of sticking his arm down into the pit...
Yeah, Sardick will, he'll have his shield out, his divine shield out. And he'll have one hand down in the pit just waiting for a hand, then he'll just grab up whatever happens to grab.
Right, that'll give Roscoe advantage to climb out then on his turn.
Okay.
Is that it for Sardick?
That'll do.
All right, Roscoe, you're not really levitating yourself. You're just being held by Azar, who's levitating.
So, you said that it would be advantage on the check to get out. Is that an athletics check then?
Yeah.
I'm still actually not going to risk it, just because I'll be up in a turn, and Roscoe's athletics is no bueno. So Roscoe will like pat down his pockets, like, it is, and pull out a potion of healing, and down that, with sneak attack and booming blade apparently on it.
Sneak attack healing.
But like kind of as he like downs this, like some of the impale wounds start to sort of close up magically around him, and then he's like, if this asshole is going to he's going to turn on us, we're not going down without a fight. And then with a bonus action, he's going to sort of start to invoke the Shadow Blade around his arm. And that will be his turn.
All right. Oh yeah, I forgot you've still got the Edge of the Mage Slayer, or what's it called? Edge of the Mage Killer?
Yeah, so both of my hands
Stuck
are
to
taken,
one
but
hand.
because
So that would have
yeah.
hurt you trying to climb out too. It would have canceled the advantage that you got, I think. So it's probably good that you didn't try to climb.
So there's a sword in each of Roscoe's hands, but luckily Azar is holding him. So please. But
All
that's
right.
it for Roscoe.
That's it? Alright, it's
Yep.
Hala's turn. Sardick just tried to blind him. Katrin's right there. I mean, not Katrin. Well, Katrin is there on the back, but Midge is there as a dire wolf. Ara's on the other side of Midge.
That was the sanity, by the way.
Alright. He is going to glare vengefully at Ara, and his eyes burn with blue fire as the sheer power of hate washes over you. Ara needs to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 15. Alright. You are paralyzed until the end of the Revenant's next turn, or until it deals damage to you. Then, you can't get past Katrin because she's taking up the whole hallway. So it will turn... Actually, no, it won't turn. It wants to get past Katrin. So it's going to attack Katrin with its sharpened spoon.
Wait, he's attacking Katrin or me?
I don't know why I keep saying Katrin. Attacking Midge.
I was gonna say, that's a low blow to go for the incapacitator.
That's
I swear
cruel.
vengeance on the one who's hitting herself.
I'm the one who keeps, keeping me
To be
from-
fair, she's part of the reason we're delayed. We're trying to get up to...
Don't tell him this. Don't
Yeah.
tell him.
She's
Katrin's
got like
a lot of health.
1,000
She
hit
can
points!
Alright, so the first thing he does is try to hit you with his fists. Well, his sharpened spoon, rather. He attacks twice.
AC is 14 as a dire wolf, so first one misses.
First one misses. And the second one does hit.
Ooh, it does hit. That red bar that I don't know if you can see it, I assume you can. Those are my wolf hit.
Oh, okay. So it's going to do 12 points of bludgeoning damage to you. And because it has sworn vengeance against all of you. Wow.
Holy shit! Wait, what is...
An extra 22 more points of bludgeoning damage for a total of 34.
Wow.
So wolf hit points are almost gone, huh?
Yeah, that kind of changes what I was gonna do.
Then, as a bonus action, he'll call out a harrowing word against you. Die!
Against me?
Against Midge.
Did he have to use the bonus action to paralyze Ara?
No, the paralyze is part of his multi-attack with his...
I was hopeful.
So this is a ranged spell attack he has to make against you. Now the good news is, because he's making a ranged attack and you're in melee with him, he has disadvantage. The bad news is he still hits.
That'll still hit.
So you take 10 necrotic. So what happens? You're kicked out of wolf form, right?
Yeah, I take the remaining 3 wolf points are gone, and then I take 7.
But you're not
in my
prone or anything. You just immediately shift back to normal.
Yeah. And either DM, I think DM typically chooses like which square I am when I shrink.
You can choose which one you shrink into.
I'm good there. Am I prone because Katrin's tied?
Now, unfortunately, you can try to slip out as you shift forms, like you did last time, to kind of get out of the ropes as you shift to a smaller form. But because this happened as a result of damage and not something you're willingly doing, I'm going to give you disadvantage on the acrobatics check.
But it's a free check though.
Yeah, it's free.
Could I get a light aura for my dark vision?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That
so
owl dark vision.
you're not able to slip out. So yeah, Katrin is suddenly on your back, weighing you down with all of her stuff. I don't know how much strength you have in
Probably not enough to not be prone.
Oh.
That's fine. I'm okay with it.
I need a little bit more. I have dark vision 120 feet.
Oh, is that what the owl has?
Yeah. What does the owl have?
What does the fox say?
Yeah. And by the way, if you hear what the fox says, the fox screams the cries of the damned. Seriously.
The fox literally makes every sound that song makes. That's what the fox.
Okay, this doesn't quite work the way you think it works, though. You have to spend an action to see through its eyes, and it lasts until the start of your next turn, which means you'd literally have to be spending an action every single round to be seeing through the owl's eyes.
Aw, gee whiz. I guess
Sadly.
I'm not.
I mean, that's
that.
fine when you're just walking around, but in the middle of combat, it might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I guess.
So, presently, you're in darkness and can't see.
Damn.
Alright, so Haleth took the wolf down, and also so Katrin is now like on top of. So instead of being prone under a wolf, you're an ex-wolf prone under a person. I don't know. It's
Wow.
prone under a wolf is like an inside joke from one of our previous D&D games. All right, so Haleth is going to move up now to Ara, which will provoke. Of course, Sardick doesn't have a weapon out. He's got one hand reaching down into the pit for Roscoe.
You assume Sardick needs a weapon.
Is he gonna toll some dead?
Sardick seems to be a warcaster, and Sardick seems to be angry.
Yeah, you can use a spell.
You shame me attacking them! I was the one that brought you out of that pit! You were my responsibility! Face me, coward!
You are the chosen one!
Sardick will invoke a guiding bolt at level 4 against him.
Yeah.
He struck for 22 radiant damage.
All right, that certainly hits.
Ooh, an advantage on the next
Yeah, that's nice. So 22 radiant?
Yes.
Well, he looks like he did not like that one bit. You will die next.
If I die, I will rise as a revenant and stalk you!
The gods always fail us. Your god will fail you.
Never! She has shown me the light! Moradin might have given me life, but Hathor has let me live!
Oh, damn you.
Alright. Pretty good. He glares at you hatefully. It's Midge's turn. Laying down there.
Okay.
Katrin's still, like, kind of attached to your back on top of you.
Well, I would assume that the rope is, like, looser now, considering it was wrapped around the wolf form.
Oh, yeah, it's much looser, but you'd have to, like, extract yourself from it.
Yeah, so I would use 15 feet. Can I just use 15 feet to stand up, or do I need to move to not be in the same square as Katrin?
You can still be in the same square, because she's laying prone on the ground incapacitated, so...
I could be, like, standing over her. It's fine, whatever, because I'm gonna look over at Haleth and kind of, like, point my staff at him and say, that was a shame, I really liked being a wolf. And I'm gonna cast Polymorph on him, and hopefully turn him into a small rat. Wisdom save is DC 15.
Very nice. Polymorph. Fails.
Ooh.
He's a rat!
Alright, so he is now a rat.
Free item interaction. Can I pick him up?
Put him into your inventory.
Yeah, can I keep him as a pet? No,
I'd
but
say
can I pick him
no.
up?
No, because he's a creature, so it's a little more involved than just an item.
Then looking at this rat and looking at everyone, I'll say, don't hit him because that'll turn him back, but maybe we can try kind of ushering him, you know, and I like kind of tilt my head toward the pit. Oh, and I have to concentrate on this spell.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we should bring him right back to that pit that we found him at. Where we found him, let him be and return in the same state as he was.
Yes. Agreed. And that's my turn.
Wow, very nice.
That was brilliant.
I've been waiting for a chance to do that.
Midge just saved Ara's life.
Basically. Alright. The rat. So, that's it for Midge, right? Yeah. Ara is paralyzed, so you can't do anything this round. Katrin can't do anything. Azar.
Alright. You're going to all of a sudden see a hand reach out from atop the from out of the pit, and suddenly pulling with him a half-elven man. You will see Azar or Azar again. It's not decided yet. In his small clothes, just sort of wildly looking around. I thought you said there was a revenant or something up here.
Yeah, he's probably hiding somewhere. I don't see him yet.
All right. And with that done, I guess Izzo's just gonna sort of let you go on his way and sort of. For some reason, I can't control. Oh, wait, I'm using the wrong thing. Just go over there, and yeah, I guess I'm done since I don't seem to see any threat.
You don't seem to see anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Katrin's shield was lit up, so he at least saw a little section
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff
there is some light in the hallway there from Katrin's shield.
Should we put like an aura around her so that we know
Well,
where that
she's-
light is as far?
She's shedding visible light. You should be able to see it because your dark vision is only giving you dim. So you should be able to see the bright light from her shield on the map. Right?
Well, or whose?
Everyone should be able to see it.
Oh, Roscoe has the special thing, so that's probably why I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, you don't notice it because your devil sight, everything looks like bright light to you.
Okay, I guess that's fitting that Roscoe doesn't know.
So what else is Azar doing?
Basically just getting out of the pit and looking around saying, hello. And that's about it.
Does anybody say anything to this new person who's just arrived? Anybody that can see him, which would basically be Sardick.
Sardick's a bit distracted by the whole Halithgark situation.
Alright, well it's Sardick's turn.
Oh, watch yourselves, Roscoe's. He's over here as a rat. I see you over there. And he's going to, Sardick will advance menacingly with his blanket drawn out, and he's going to attempt to throw the blanket over the rat and kind of catch it up in like a.
Hey, Cass, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. All right. I think we'll pretend like this is a net, basically.
Okay.
Which means you have to make an attack roll to hit the rat with the blanket.
Now, does Sardick think it would be simpler to... I mean, I'm assuming he can't just bend down and just scoop up the rat.
You'd still have to make an attack roll to try to grapple it.
I'm thinking the blanket is probably a more useful way. So, what sort of attack would you like me to make?
I guess it'd be a dexterity-based attack, but without your proficiency bonus.
That sounds like it's going to go well. So since he has a +0, that'll be a straight D20.
Well, the rat
But it
doesn't
is
have a
against
very
rat
good
AC.
All right, you managed to get the blanket around the rat.
Ah, we've got you now, you little rapscallion. You're nothing more than a common poultrygeist, you are.
Did you say rapscallion or ratscallion?
Ratscallion.
Oh god,
I like
so
it.
good.
All right. So you've got the rat kind of trapped in this blanket now.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think we should return him to that pit that we first found him in, and Sardick will go ahead and begin heading.
Okay.
Which I believe would get him there.
Is there a reason to stay in rounds at this point?
I don't think so. Well,
I don't think anyone
the
plans
rat
on
can
doing
try to
damage.
escape.
I guess
The
we
rat-
could just use this pit right here.
The rat can try to escape. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it probably won't, but you never know. So you start moving back down. Is that it for Sardick's turn?
Yeah, I think that's as far as he can get him, assuming that the act of blanketing was an action, so that would bring him up, grab it.
Yeah, so he's got the rat wrapped up in this blanket now and is carrying it. What's up, Cass? Yeah, so this revenant just swore vengeance against them and was going to kill him, but then the Druid Midge turned it into a rat, and now they have it wrapped up in a blanket.
Are we just trying to get him into a pit? Because, I mean, we could use this.
The one that we found him in, that was all smooth and such. I think these are a bit more, jagged and easier to get out of.
Okay. We'll just keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't get out.
I mean, I'm
Roscoe,
assuming that's the
You're pretty
case.
familiar with these pits now. You're pretty sure that you could close the doors to this pit, and you could probably rig them to where they couldn't be opened again if you so desired.
Yeah, if we take a moment, I could probably figure out a way to trap it in here. like maybe tie the blanket to a rope, lower it down so that it doesn't take any damage from the fall. Give me a bit of time to rig this door shut, and then...
Fair enough, and since there's two of you, it'll be twice as fast. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I'll wait here and we'll make it so.
Here, take my rope. You can start tying off the blanket so that there's no way it can get out, and I'll start working on jerry-rigging this.
Alright, so you start...
Okay, yeah, and if Sardick still has any turn left, he'll begin using that to make a nice sturdy sailor's knot to bind it up.
Yeah, Sardick doesn't really have any turn left, but Roscoe can kind of pull out the rope and give it to you.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know he can still make actions. Roscoe, you think that we know how to close it and kind of jam it? How long do you think that process?
Who are you asking?
You, I guess. I mean, as long as we could do it within the hour before he transforms back, then...
It'll only take about a minute.
Oh, you know what? Roscoe's going to let go of the Shadow Blade, and as it sort of leaves his hand, it dissipates. And he's going to cast Mage Hand, pick up the blanket, and say, here, I can take that, if you don't mind.
It's been a good blanket to me. Well, I mean, I guess this is a situation. I mean, I guess I wouldn't want to sleep in it after rats such as Haleth's been in it. All right, fine.
So Roscoe will use Mage Hand to take the blanket, and it can move 30 feet, so descend it 30 feet down so that it is on the ground of this pit.
Alright.
And then that was his action. So I guess he'll just wait.
Alright, Haleth's gonna try to escape from the blanket with his fantastic acrobatics. Rat-trobatics. What? Alright, looks like he is able to wriggle out of the blanket, but he's still in the bottom of the pit now. So he's going to try to climb the pit wall as a rat, which isn't going to go well. No, he doesn't manage to even get up 5 feet. So he's just futilely trying to scramble, and you hear the little chitter of his little rat claws on the stone, and angry squeaking sounds, still glaring up at you all angrily, with rat hate in his eyes. At this point, I think we could probably go out of rounds, because I don't think there's any conceivable way he can get out of there.
Okay.
So Ara stops being paralyzed.
Woo!
After your paralysis wear off, though, however, you do feel frightened of the Revenant, even in rat form, for the next minute. Its vengeful glare was so terrifying that it shook you to your core, and you find yourself shivering.
That's fair. A lot of people are actually afraid of rats, although, you know, really there's no need to be. They're really quite friendly and very...
So I guess Roscoe has never used Mage Hand before, but there's basically this like dark, shadowy hand extending 30 feet from his now into the pit that is kind of like slowly retracting up as he's kind of looking, and it kind of like fits back into the shadow on the underside of his hand. It's like, there we go. Now about rigging this thing.
So is everybody just ignoring the new person standing there that you never met? Oh, of course, you met him in the pit. So
yeah, I've acknowledged him at this point.
you already got grabbed by him and floated up, but Sardick hasn't seemed to notice him or Midge yet.
Well, actually, Sardick's made mention. He naturally realizes that since there's now 2 people that came out of the pit, both of them are Roscoe.
And they're both
So they're
6'1",
both, you know,
brown hair.
exactly.
Similar.
So, you know, Roscoe just ended up multiplying himself. It's a thing he does. You know, that.
I feel like Midge couldn't see him until she moved up to here. From where she...
Yeah, well, we're not in rounds anymore, so you guys can do what you want.
So, anybody gonna introduce us to the new guy?
What new guy? Oh, that one's Roscoe as well. They split apart in the pit or something. They did a thing.
It's, actually, I don't know your name. Don't worry about what he just said. I don't split like that. Would you mind giving me a hand with this pit real quick, and we can start to jam it shut. We don't really want this revenant coming back out. Hey everyone, this is the person who saved me.
That's Ard
yeah.
standing back there.
Do I get a saving throw for the frightened?
Yeah.
What is it? Wisdom or?
Yeah, it's wisdom.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you're actually too afraid to move toward the pit, actually.
I'm just gonna try to move back a little, actually.
Okay. As you do so, you notice something interesting. In the hallway to the north of you, you notice a floating eye. And it is surrounded by floating motes of glowing light. And it's just floating in the air about 25 feet to the north of you, just watching you.
I kind of call back to them. Guys? I feel like someone's watching us. Literally.
Hearing that, Midge would look over at the new guy and just be like, thanks for saving Roscoe. Glad you're not a piece of him that split apart or whatever. And she's gonna go join Aura.
You feel it as well, do you? The nurturing mother, she watches over us all. Even down here.
I don't think it's that.
Alright, what is Azar doing?
Azar is going to be helping out Roscoe, using his own mage hand as well.
Oh, double mage hand.
Oh, we can mage hand high five when we're done.
You can give a round of applause with mage hands.
You know, if they still think you're part of me, we can convince them that you're my, like, better half. Well, that has connotations I wasn't trying to mean, actually. That you're the nicer side of me? We can work with this. This is kind of like idle chat he's doing as they're, like, working to close this up and, like, jam it off. It's like I have a bit of experience with these things. If we just jimmy it like this, it should close back up.
Yeah, slap that double
Right,
mage
seems
hand.
fair enough.
Nox says mage hand bro fist. What's up, Maz? Good to see you. How you doing?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're basically rigging the doors of this pit closed and making it so they can't open again. I mean, they can't open easily.
Yeah, that's the plan. And then I'm also gonna outline it in chalk. And because our light source is back a little bit, Roscoe can also light up his sword for a little bit of light for Azar.
Alright. Make a thieves' tools check, and all right, you have no problem doing it.
Also, before we do, I guess I can use Mage Hand to grab the blanket and pull it back out to give to Sardick.
All right. The rat's still down there, desperately trying to climb the walls with no success whatsoever, making the angriest squeaking sounds you've ever heard.
You know, the scary thing.
Very
I
angry.
think he's always going to know where we are forever now. So that's.
Yes, that's right. No blanket for you in the darkness and the cold. I can't believe I extended my hand to get you out of a pit before. Back into this pit you go. So dirty, this blanket. I'm assuming he has the blanket, so he's going to go run over to Aura. And Aura, I've got rat bits on this blanket of mine. Is there anything you can do for it? It's dirty with that stinking rat in it.
Aura will look at him and look at the blanket, and she'll cast Prestidigitation on it.
Look it! Just nice and cleanly laundered. Excellent. Beautiful.
Yeah,
He's
the
going to fold it.
It's fresh as new.
He's just going to sort of fold it up nice and neat and put it back in with his bedroll. Excellent. Excellent indeed.
She points to the eye and taps Sardick to kind of get his attention to the eye.
It blinks once, continues staring at you.
Sardick will kind of turn and regard this eye as he finishes stuffing it into his pack there. Now, what sort of thing?
Go ahead.
That was it. What sort of thing is this? And that would be it.
It looks like a human eye, but it's about the size of a cantaloupe. And it's hovering there, and it's, like I said, there's some, like, little glowing motes of light rotating around it.
Aura's gonna walk up to it. Like, it hasn't let, like, a beam of anything out of it yet, so...
Alright. It stares
So I'm gonna
impassively
approach
as you
it.
approach.
Yeah, Sardick will also come up to it and sort of raise the shield and present the symbol of Hathor to it, just to see if it has any sort of reaction. Mother, is that you?
As the two of you get close to it, it starts drifting away from you down the hall, back to the east.
Maybe...
Backing up so that the eye is still facing towards you as it's backing away slowly.
Like, it wasn't, like, backing away like it was running, but just kind of like...
No, it's moving nice and slow. You could easily keep up with it if you desire.
I think we should follow it. What's it gonna do? Lead us to our death?
I bet it's some sort of an aspect of Joaquin or something, looking upon her Joaquin dead down there in the pit.
Her Joaquin dad, really?
Oh my god.
But the Pun Squad strikes again!
It's funny because he is a cleric of Joaquin. The Joaquin dad.
I suppose we can possibly sort of look after it a bit, but the two Roscoes down there, they're kind of jury-rigging that pit closed and sealing Hathor in it.
The who's he what? Roscoe cast another spell?
There's Roscoe kind of, saw him fall in that pit and whatnot. It might have been something Haleth did, but, I went to go ahead and get him, but, there was 2 Roscoes and they both came out of the pit. Now they're working together in tandem.
I wonder if he's the sequel.
From right beside Sardick, Midge is just like shaking her head no at all of this and looking at Ara.
Oh, okay. I was like, did he pull out that king in yellow to try to get out of the pit?
Midge is doing that like no, silent, like no thing, like this is all wrong, this is all incorrect information.
She kind of just presses her lips together and goes, oh, I still think we should follow the eye.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to kind of take a little bit more of a look for it. And Sardick will inch up over here and sort of look out over the corridor to see if he can see it still bobbing.
So has the trap been, has it now been set such it locked now?
Yeah. So what are you guys talking about down there? Azar and Roscoe. What does Azar say after Roscoe says that?
Oh, my name is Azar. It's good to meet you.
Roscoe kind of reaches over to shake his hand. Because of the way that the sword is and the mage hand is, it's the same hand as the mage hand, so it's just kind of like phasing through him a bit. Roscoe Vander here. We can certainly talk more. Is there somewhere you're trying to go? And actually, I'm glad you're out of the pit. That looked...
It was. It really was. I don't suppose you have any water or anything, do you?
And Roscoe kind of like fumbles around a little bit, and he... Oh... No, I don't. But I do have this, and he'll give Azar the good berry that Midge gave him. It's unfortunately not quite the same. We ran out of water too, so we're going to be on our way back up soon. You can join us back up if you'd like.
Certainly. Goodberry, right?
Yes, we have... Midge is up there. She made them.
Alright, Azar's going to pop the good berry in his mouth and eat it.
You feel a great sense of warmth and energy flood through your body as you finally gain the vital sustenance that you've been lacking for all these days. And it feels very, very good. Even though the good berry itself is small and not terribly flavorful, right now in this moment it feels like the best thing you've ever eaten. And you're good to go now. So the next time you rest, you'll be able to regain hit dice as normal.
Yay.
And we'll work on water. We didn't plan as accordingly as we should have. But I think this looks pretty set. So would you like to, I guess, officially meet the rest of the group?
Sounds like a good idea.
So we'll like head over this way and see that people kind of left Katrin behind. It's like, oh, Roscoe's gonna like kind of scoop down and like try and like pick her up, but not quite have the strength. Another one of our team that I don't remember what they're exactly called, but similar far realm things.
I'm going to assume you're referring to the small creatures, intellect devourers, they're called.
Another character with 8 strength? What the fuck, this party?
Can you just help? We can. I can get her arm here, and you can get her arm there, and I think the two of us.
All right, fair enough. And Azar will help out. I'm going to be inconsistent as hell about how I pronounce the name.
Well, together we have a strength of 16.
Yeah, it's not... Well, that is more or less how it works when it comes to carrying stuff, I guess. So,
yeah.
You're able to sort of move her along now with between the two of you.
All right. Zura is just going to sort of perch on Katrin's head and go, ooh, ooh.
Oh, you have a familiar I guess Roscoe didn't specifically invoke Detect Magic again, but while I haven't been concentrating on anything, do I sense that this is not a normal owl, I guess?
Yeah, it's clearly magical. The same kind of magic as Nevermore.
Well, this Zura's a celestial. I don't know what Nevermore is.
Well, no, it's not the
we'll
same
go with
kind of
aberration.
creature, but it is created by the same kind of magic, though.
You have one too. The others were giving me crap for mine. We can talk more about this later. I'm sure there'll be plenty of time to fill each.
Yes. She's quite a weighty lass, isn't she?
Yeah, she's well, I guess I shouldn't talk about her weight behind her back like this. Well, yes.
All right,
Well,
time to.
she's pretty tiny, but she has a shitload of gear strapped to her, including some of Roscoe's books and such.
Yep.
I had books, but then they got taken away.
Hashtag Deaver.
Yeah, basically.
Nox, I Deavered Scito's character before he even started playing.
Nice.
It's true, he did.
So I guess we probably are going slower than the rest of the group. So if they're going to move on ahead, maybe switch back to them and see what they.
Alright, what are the rest of you doing? You see that eye just floating down there, down the hallway a little ways, just watching.
Does it stop moving when it gets a certain distance from us, or is it kind of like...
Yeah, it stopped.
Alright, so I'm gonna move up some towards it.
Does it look like a creature, like an animal or anything, or is it just a spectral floating?
It looks like it's literally a human eye that's been plucked out of someone's head and been enlarged to the size of a melon. That's just floating there. Although it's just the eyeball. There's no, like, you know, nerves coming off of it or anything.
It's not blinking.
Well, it has blinked a couple of times.
Oh, it has? Okay.
I don't know how an eyeball blinks exactly without an eyelid.
That's kind of why I was asking, like, if it was, like, sort of like, you know, like the eye on, like, a dollar bill, or, like, just the actual eyeball.
It's just the eyeball. I guess it hasn't blinked, because it would require an eyelid to do that, and it doesn't have an eyelid.
I wouldn't try a staring contest with this.
Is it staring at us, or is it looking at something on the walls, or...
It's looking at all of you. Now it's looking at Aura.
Oh, Ara, be careful. I don't... Well, I've never seen anything like this before, and it's really weird.
Me neither, but I don't know. I mean, it hasn't done anything to us yet. And she just keeps, like, moving up slowly towards it.
Yeah, Sardick will go ahead and follow her just for reinforcement's sake.
Same.
Alright, in the distance, it sounds like it's coming from to the east of you somewhere. It's hard to determine exactly where. You hear what sound like multiple cries of pain, like several people wailing in anguish and suffering, but it sounds like it's far away.
That doesn't sound healthy.
This is very odd.
The eyeball moves again. Still facing you. So Roscoe and Azar are moving up, and you're kind of dragging Katrin behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at whatever pace seems reasonable.
Okay. Are you using the dark vision like every single round, essentially, as you're moving around, Scito?
Yes.
Okay, so basically you're moving at half the speed you could be moving because you're continuously focusing on seeing through the owl's eyes, which is fine, because that's the speed the party usually moves at anyway, because the people in the front are making perception checks, etc. So, now what?
How are we gonna deal with Katrin? I mean, the two of us can keep dragging her.
Two Roscoes. It doesn't match one Sardick. Here, I'll go ahead and take her. There's something strange going on. There's an eye over there, and we heard people screaming. I'm not sure if it's actual people or what might be going on here.
Huh, that's concerning.
Both of you, do your thing and kind of take a look with those things you do. I'll take care of Katrin here.
Roscoe will kind of look over at Azar and shrug. And I'll step up to within the 60 feet so that I can have detect magic affect the.
Yeah, it definitely radiates magic of a divination type.
Oh, well, someone's definitely trying to tell us something. I don't think you needed me to say that. And it's definitely magical, which I also don't think you needed me to say. It's about what I got right now.
You're carrying 172 pounds of stuff, Sardick?
Sure. I mean, his split armor itself is like 60. Then he's got his pick, which is another 10, his sledge, which is another 10, sledgehammer. Mason tools, another 8, so that's a fair amount there.
How many pounds worth of stuff did you guys put on Katrin of your stuff?
Sardick didn't put anything on Katrin.
Maybe it was only Will.
Neither did Midge.
It was me, and then we talked about how we were going to mark what was there, and we were like, don't worry about it, because she'll be with you the whole time.
I think it was 10 torches. Sardick got the spikes. There was a set of spikes. He got that. There was the books. I think that was it.
I think a tent at one point, because that was pretty heavy that Roscoe was carrying. Yeah, the tent's 20 pounds. I probably would have given that to her.
What else is on her besides the tent?
Honestly, when we were discussing it before, you said not to mark it, so I don't have it.
Well, yeah, but you can decide now.
Oh, to get Roscoe to his weight, so it's 15 times your strength scores.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Roscoe is good with just the tent on her. He's underweight.
Okay. So she's got 20 pounds. 20 pounds plus her normal stuff. So Katrin weighs 111 pounds. But she's carrying 105 pounds of stuff. So that's 216 pounds of Katrin that you're dragging around. And Sardick's got... Uh-oh, what did I do? I did something bad. Yeah, so you're still under your maximum weight. You can carry Katrin around and your stuff, Sardick.
Okay, yeah, Sardick will definitely do that then.
But you're gonna have to like have both hands involved in this.
That's fine.
You won't be able to have your shield or anything else equipped while you're dragging her around.
Okay.
Just because of the sheer bulk of all the stuff you're dealing with.
I assume his regular armor he can have equipped since he has that on.
Yeah, what you're wearing is still on you, that's fine.
Okay.
Actually, and that's for dragging weight. So, you're not actually carrying Katrin, you're dragging her.
If Roscoe helping will make it so that we can carry her, then Roscoe, once he like notices that Sardick's kind of like dragging her along, will like step back and try and help with what he can. It's probably not adding very much, but just to try and get her.
Yeah, I'd say if it's the two of you, it's not a problem.
Barzul, if I had known she'd have this much stuff on her, I would have prayed to the mother for more strength.
Oh, well, hopefully we'll get her fixed soon. I mean, we're on our way back up, I think.
At this point, Midge would turn around, though, and say, as soon as we figure out this eye situation, I can help carry her. I just want to be able to, back up Ara in case something weird happens.
Yeah, why don't we move
That's
up a
fine.
little bit closer?
You guys all say that Ara's like still walking up towards the eye.
Yeah, actually, if it makes things a little easier, Sardick can take his blanket and kind of get Katrin on the blanket and kind of pull the blanket, if that kind of makes the motion a little easier to do, as opposed to just having her legs and all that be scraping against the dungeon floor.
Sure, and like Roscoe can get one corner, Sardick can get the other, and... Alright.
I mean, if you're kind of pulling her along on a blanket on the ground, you don't even really need Roscoe's help.
Could Sardick have his shield out already if Roscoe was helping?
I'd say no.
Okay, then Roscoe will move on ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got her. I'll take care of her.
Okay, just let me know if you need any help for any reason.
You hear another sound, like a chorus of wailing, suffering voices. Sounds like it's probably coming from that door ahead of you. And the eye, as you move up,
Watch be another creature of the dead.
Aha.
you see it there, lurking.
Does it see me? Oh.
You guys dealt very effectively with that revenant, turning it into a rat and trapping it in the pit. That was very good.
Yes. Like, can I just tell you that Ara, like, loves Midge, but now she loves Midge. She's like, that thing would have decimated her. She couldn't even fight back, so.
Yeah, no, that thing hit real hard.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's entirely possible it would have killed Ara while she was paralyzed.
Yep.
I would
No,
also
we're
like
so
to note
squishy.
that I'm very glad I managed to make it through that encounter without drawing the Revenant's enmity. Woo!
This is true.
That's true. You're the one person that it hasn't sworn vengeance against. It doesn't even know you exist.
Yeah!
Roscoe's gonna do a religion check to see if Azar is actually a revenant. Also,
All right, go ahead.
I'll do it, but I don't actually.
You're pretty sure he's not. He
Good
seems
to know.
By
alive.
this point, I've sort of, while there, I'm just going to sort of say, I'm just, while walking along, I say, hello, nice to meet you. Name's Azar, Cullis, good to meet you. To both, Sardick and, Midge.
Nice to meet you too. And then Midge kind of lowers her voice and is like, just so... Not that I actually believe it, but you're not a split off piece of him, right? And she's pointing at Roscoe.
Of course it is. I've heard of this. It's like a split personality.
No, sorry,
kind of
I'm
thing.
whispering this to Azar.
Ah, okay.
Roscoe's like back here with Sardick, like, he's not part of me, you know that, right?
Well, now wait a minute. I mean, you went down the pit, and I think you were a half-elf, and now you're like an elf and a human. It's kind of the way it works, you know. You kind of like, you know, it's one of those effects when you bounce off the pit and you kind of like bounce and kind of split into two. I mean, right down the seam, kind of.
Roscoe
Okay,
will look like he wants to say something and have nothing to say.
It's alright, I've seen the victims of intellect devourers and illithids many times.
So, you did decide to do the Menzo Baronzen thing instead of the other Drow city, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well you see that Ara's standing right there, and she's clearly a Drow. Ara, as you see Azar, now that he's up close to you, you notice something. You have seen this guy before. This human.
Uh-huh.
He used to be a slave of the matron mother of House Ovrindar, which is the house that your house was allied with. Now, you don't recognize her, Scito, because she wasn't anyone noteworthy to you as a slave, but he was kind of talked about as being this curiosity. There was this sort of pet human of the matron mother because he had, you know, unusually strong magical abilities for such a young age. And so he was considered kind of an oddity.
Ara probably would have related to that.
But the two of you have never had any actual interactions
Right,
before.
right.
You know who he is, though.
But I'm thinking like in like the whole, because I would have just resisted anything that had to do with my family, including any type of allied houses. So she probably would have known about him and kind of related to the whole like innate magic type deal or young magic and kind of being the oddity because like her family treated her that way as well. I don't say anything on the recognition, at least not yet. I kind of pack that in the back of my mind and then go back to focusing on the eye.
Does Azar say anything to Ara?
Oh.
Or does he have any kind of visible reaction?
He's going to sort of, seeing that Ara is a drow, he's going to just sort of quiet himself a little and just sort of go, oh, a drow. Curious. Haven't seen one of you since Berazan.
she just kind of nods and tries to do a friendly smile, which probably comes out more like a grimace at that point, and
I would like to do
a
an
little
insight check
awkward.
to see if I can sort of glean any sort of insight into her.
All right, both of you do insight checks.
While they're very awkwardly sizing each other up, Midge is gonna slowly pull out her
No.
blanket and
No.
approach.
Ow.
Roscoe will kind of like call out as he and Sardick catch up, like, "Oh, I invited him to come back up to the tavern with."
If we ever get up there.
Well, of course, it could be strange to leave half of you down here. That's making yourself rather vulnerable.
I like to think that made Ara laugh too. After that,
It actually probably would have.
so, of course we're going back up. We hit setbacks for sure, but we're going to make it. We made it.
All right, so Azar finds Ara kind of unreadable. It's hard to get an idea of what's going on with her, but Ara can kind of see through what's going on with Azar. So what is Azar kind of feeling at the moment toward Ara?
Azar is sort of feeling a little bit of wariness as he's never quite sure. Especially now that he's underground again, he's never quite certain whether or not Matron Mother Udara is sending a bounty hunter or the like after him. But despite years of captivity, he's actually doesn't really have a hatred of Drow or anything. It's a more complicated relationship than that.
Okay.
In reaction to kind of that insight, Ara would just kind of shrug and be like, well, we're kind of in the same boat. You're as safe as I am. And she turns around.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and just as Ara says that, Midge kind of like sidles up and says, "Watch out!" And she's gonna try to throw her blanket over.
Oh, Midge.
You're trying to throw your blanket over what?
Over the eye. I saw Sardick do that to a rat, and it was pretty effective.
All right, so the blanket passes right through the eye and falls to the ground, and at that point, the eye actually moves and goes through the door to the that's right next to you. It just passes right through the door, as though it was never there.
Well, you did tell it to watch out.
All right. As it's
Not like that. You have to bless your blanket first before you throw it. It's got to be a holy blanket.
I think it might have been. It went right through it.
Can
I think
I?
Midge's blanket's got plenty of moth holes.
It is a holy blanket.
Can I at all use my Arcana skill to try and divine exactly what the eye is doing and what it's sort of connected to?
Yeah, go ahead. Alright, you're pretty sure somebody is watching you through this eye. And it's not actually a physical material object. You don't think you could affect it with anything, except for potentially dispel magic. But, yeah, somebody's obviously watching you through this eye.
Well, I don't think this will come as a surprise to anyone, but I do believe we're being watched.
Yes.
I said that way back there.
As I was saying there, the nurturing mother watches over us all the time, even down here.
Are we going through there then?
This is the door that we were at that sounded like there was like howling winds.
Yeah.
Shall I do a little bit of diligence and check it for traps before we try?
Could
Although
I
I don't know
take-
if you can hear the winds. Make a perception check. Midge heard the winds before. All right, you can hear what sounds like wind. Yeah.
Wow, hopefully my attack rolls are on fire like this.
How soon do you have to leave, Will?
I should have like 18 minutes. I'll let you know, because basically he's just gonna text me when the plane lands.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted, and while I'm not actively driving, I can still kind of give input if you guys make it back up. And if not, Roscoe kind of has his order of operations in combat, so.
So while Will is gone, Roscoe is going to burn the king in. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
If only it would burn.
Notice how he's never like, Ara can play my character for me if I'm not there.
I like my book. It's my heirloom.
I know.
But yeah, I'll step up and investigate the door for traps if people are just kind of standing around talking right now.
All right, go ahead.
18.
You do not detect any traps.
I think this still is good for what that's worth.
And do I hear the winds or do I hear anything different?
You just hear wind.
But screaming was coming from here earlier, right?
Yeah, you don't hear that anymore.
Well, I'm gonna offer someone to open the door, and I will ready fireball in case there's anything in there.
I can do that. And he's going to sort of invoke the mage hand again, and this sort of like the shadow from like behind his hand kind of like reaches out and sort of hits the opening mechanism on the door and pushes.
Oh, wait just 1 second. Wait, we heard screams here. There's two of you. I don't think I can treat you all as one, but by the blessing of the mother, may you be And he's going to invoke aid upon the two Roscoes and Aura at level 4. So that's the plus 15 health again.
Nice, thank you.
So that's a couple of level 4s you've used.
All my 4s are gone.
Alright, so who gets the aid? It's 15 extra health, right?
Yes, Roscoe, Azar, and Aura.
Okay, that's going to last for 8 hours. Let me put this down.
Which is a really long time, because to be fair, the last 15 lasted 3 sessions.
True.
You said Roscoe, Aura, and Azar?
Yes.
Alright, so that raises your maximum hit points by 15 until the duration runs out.
Oh, thank you, good sir.
You're most welcome. Next time, you might want to wait until I do that and then split apart into your halves.
Yes, I will make a note of that.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
I look at Roscoe and go, and I say it just quiet enough that only Roscoe can hear, and say, does he think you're human and elf part split? Is this what's going on?
Roscoe will just kind of like shrug and go to smile. It's like, I think. But after that, then I guess the door can be open unless anyone has anything else to.
Midge prepares a poison spray if there's anything bad looking in there. Hostile, that's what I was looking for.
Alright, who's opening the door?
Roscoe used Mage Hand to open it.
Okay. It opens, and a rush of air, a slight rush of air, a breeze comes out, and you hear the rushing wind sound much louder now, echoing off of the walls.
Does any detect magic ping?
No, it doesn't. You see a strangely shaped hallway that seems to kind of angle one direction, then the other. There is a sort of... The air is kind of moving here. There is sort of a swirling current of air here, but it's not very strong. But it sounds like there's a much louder rushing wind, off in the distance to the east that's echoing off of these walls, these stone walls. The ceiling is 20 feet high in this hallway.
I asked Midge if she wants to check for pits. We don't want the Pit King falling again.
It's a title at least, I'll take it.
Midge would nod and start looking.
King in yellow, more like the king in pit.
Hey.
Alright,
The King of Impale.
you're not noticing anything. Just that wind sound.
Oh, Midge would turn back to Ara though and be like, are we sure we want to explore this? I thought we were trying to get back up, and this seems like it'll go... Well, it's kind of hard to predict.
So, if we can get it to wrap around back this way, it might be a way up. But I don't know if it...
Ara just kind of gives like a frustrated sigh, like it feels like even when we're trying to backtrack, we're not really backtracking. And
Everybody else keeping up with her.
she looks for the eye.
You don't see it.
Oh, my poor buddy's gone.
Oh, did anyone make an insight check on the eye? Determine its motives.
Okay,
I don't know. It seemed a
second there.
bit idle there for a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So when Midge gets to that point, where is everyone else? How far back from Midge are you?
I would be right about here.
It depends where Sardick is. Roscoe's not going to stand, get too far away from any one person.
Yeah, Sardick would be a little behind whoever would be the furthest behind, carrying Catcher.
Alright, this is about where everyone is then. At this point, the rushing wind sound rapidly increases in volume, and more air is blowing your way, and you see some kind of phenomenon come around this corner right in front of you, Midge. It is a swirling mass of churning, almost hurricane force air, which has picked up all sort of dust and small pebbles and debris and is carrying it around in this churning mass, which is formed into something very vaguely like a humanoid shape.
Oh, good.
And it looks something like this.
Air elemental, you're the one. You make dungeoneering tons of fun.
Oh boy!
Elemental,
Oh!
and it looks like it's gonna be flying towards you with destructive intent. So at this point, now that you see it in front of you, it would be initiative time.
I'm so sorry!
No, it's fine. Does Midge have enough time to just call out, Big Airman!
Big Airman!
I
I don't think she would know what these were.
love the that part.
Roscoe's trying to figure out what big airman means, so that's why his initiative is 0.
Don't worry, Roscoe, you'll see.
I like how you guys are like, we're gonna go back, but then you just keep going into more new areas.
There was an eye.
It was the eye!
No
It caught my eye!
Yeah, having heard the screams, I feel like Sardick would have had to have investigated.
Alright, has everybody's initiative correct on the tracker? Ara's got 9, Azar's got 23, Roscoe's got 7. Haleth does not need to be on here anymore.
Bye, Haleth.
I mean,
Still.
Midge might lose concentration here.
Oh no!
Oh, she would have dropped concentration a while ago once the pit was closed.
Yeah, but it's unlikely that it can get out of there, at least not anytime soon. Alright. So, Azar, you hear some yelling from Midge further down the hallway, and you hear the wind sound intensifying. What do you do?
Alright. I'm going to, first off, do I sense that something bad is happening?
You sense that something dramatic is happening. Whether or not it's bad, you're not sure.
Look, she can be hard to interpret sometimes, but I'm pretty sure that was a combat bad elemental thing. Go.
Right.
Crunchy ice, crunchy ice.
Well, Azar is, in that case, going to cast Mage Armor. So, let me just pull that up.
Mage armor, okay. That's +3 to your armor class, essentially.
Yep, still in my small clothes, though. Really happy about this.
I like how nobody has offered you any extra clothes or anything.
Yeah, I know. I've just...
Or even a blanket. They're using a blanket.
We don't know this guy. Maybe this is how he rolls all the time.
Yeah. Not
This
even
is
that.
his
I was
outfit.
assuming small clothes just meant that they were a
I've been
little too
waiting
small
to
for
say
him.
something, but they've been so goddamn interested in the floating eyeball, and so Azar doesn't get any of this attention. Hey, new guy! Nope, floating eyeball gets all the freaking interest.
At least you got some aid.
Listen, new guy. It's not all about you.
The floating eyeball doesn't have any clothes either.
You have to talk with Roscoe as part of your hazing.
Yes, that is your job.
Alright, after casting Mage Armor, what else do you do on your turn?
Alright. I'm going to... Can I make an Arcana check to sort of try and suss out what's happening right now?
Not really. You're kind of too far away and can't really see what's going on.
Alright, then I'm going to yell up ahead. What is happening exactly?
And I just go, bleh! Wind guy.
Right.
It's like a game of telephone and it loses information as it goes. It's like, someone fought.
Like, technically, Ara can't see what Midge is seeing, so she's just like, okay, howling wind.
Part of the dungeon must have gotten broken off and exposed to the elements. There must be people grabbing for trees and trying to hold off a hurricane or something.
So you're staying where you are, I assume?
Yep.
All right. So, from behind the one directly in front of you, Midge, a second of these shapes comes rushing through the air, displacing a great deal of air, causing wind to whip up all around you, and dust and small pebbles to sort of sting at your eyes and face. And it's going to come all the way up here, and it's going to flow around you and envelop you within its swirling form. And it will unleash a whirlwind all about you. So you need to make a strength saving throw, Midge. DC 13.
A spank saving throw?
Oh, good.
Strength.
Oh!
The one that I'm
It is
good
going
at.
to attempt to spank you. These are BDSM elementals.
I'm gonna do it with DM inspiration. So it 15.
All right, you didn't need the inspiration. You made it anyway, so you can save the inspiration.
Hooray!
Hey, I've got to run. Roscoe's going to cast Shadow Blade and huck it at these things while trying to keep a bit of distance so he doesn't lose concentration. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry for having to run. I might be back in if you all are still doing things. I'll just send a message and see what's going on.
I actually need to also
Alright,
just
cool.
quickly do something. So
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick break as well. So everybody want to take a few minute break. This is a good time.
Awesome. I'll see you guys.
Have a good one.
Later.
See you, Will. All right, yeah, so I'll be back in just a few minutes myself. Stick around, stay tuned, don't touch that dial. I will BRB in just a couple minutes. Hashtag superfast. All right, I'm back. Back again. I return.
Yay.
I've switched from Cola O to Diet Black Cherry.
Interesting.
Cola
Not really.
O.
Cola O is a ferocious beast only told of in legends.
It's true.
And you've slayed it?
Well, I've been slayed by it a few times. Just say it's a lot of Constitution saves when you drink that stuff. No, it's just a generic store brand version of Coke Zero, but it's...
Oh,
much
okay. I
worse.
thought it was like Cola Orange or something like that. Then they just come up with like that Coke flavored cream soda or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
there's-
orange and vanilla Coke. Hmm.
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
I don't think I want to. I can't imagine Coca-Cola tasting like a creamsicle. Or baby Tylenol, as I like to call it.
Yeah, it sounds really weird to me.
It does.
Is anybody not back?
I think it might just be Scito.
Well, these buffeting, swirling winds do manage to bludgeon Midge for 7 damage, even though you saved.
Yeah, I just deducted that.
So you feel
I
yourself
just saw that
being
roll.
bashed by these heavy winds, and you are within the creature.
You and the creature are one.
Pretty much. So that makes it Midge's turn.
All right, back.
Welcome back, Scito.
Okay. As Midge gets bludgeoned, she turns back to look at everyone else and just calls out again, "See, big airmen!" And then I think she will kind of like using 2 hands to hold on to her quarterstaff, give it a little swirl, and she's gonna conjure 8 regular wolves. They get to roll their own. I'll roll initiative for them. But essentially, I don't know if there's like a token or something I can use for where I'm gonna. Ooh. Yeah. So where that one is, these 3 purple lines, if it can be there. Essentially, all of those are now wolves.
Check and see if you can move those. You should
Oh,
be able
yes,
to.
I can now, yeah.
You can move all of them?
Yes. So that is my action, and my bonus action is I also turn into a wolf, but a dire.
Eight regular wolves, huh?
8 regular wolves and 1 dire wolf, which is myself. I'm now the same size as these elves. Damn it, that is actually not what I would have wanted them to roll. And their initiative is 20. Oh, actually, I guess that's alright.
Their initiative is 21, you said, right?
Yes.
Alright. Are you issuing any verbal commands to these wolves?
Yes. Attack the air, people!
Okay. Fine. So you cast that, and then what? And then you turn into it.
Yeah, bonus action, I turn into a dire wolf.
And you're now even more inside the air elemental.
Yep, and that is it.
Wow. Alright, what is Sardick doing?
Okay. Am I just, or is Katrin just in the door enough for Sardick to go and close?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, Sardick will go ahead and he'll close the door, and then hearing the sounds of combat over to the east, he's going to go over here.
And keep in mind that you don't have anything in your hands right now.
True. That is very true. So, as he goes over, it takes an action to don the shield, or does it take an action, or can he still cast it as a spiritual focus without donning it?
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll go around the corner, and I'm presuming at this point he'll see Midge kind of turn into a wolf within this, and he'll yell out, "Midge! In combat, of all things! Now is not the time to have a litter of puppies! Damn it, is anyone else pregnant on this team?"
Alright, does anybody not have inspiration?
I don't.
No, actually you do. You're the one that you had when you were Haleth carried over.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
And so, presenting his shield in the act of casting a spell, he'll go, Being of air, your mortality be... And instead of using Spare the Dying, he's going to do Toll the Dead.
I was gonna say.
Alright. He needs to make a wisdom save.
Yes.
It fails.
It will take 4 necrotic. I don't believe it's damage.
Correct. It's not damaged yet, but now you've just damaged it.
And yeah, that'll be it for him.
And now I'm trying to click on it, but Midge's thing is in the way. Alright, there we go. Alright, so you've drawn first air. There's a little hissing sound like air being let out of a tire. And there's a little pulse, an angry pulse of wind that goes out from it, blowing back everyone's hair. That's it for Sardick, right?
Yes.
Alright, so then this other elemental, which is now surrounded by wolves, is going to try to get as many wolves as possible into itself.
No!
And it will unleash the whirlwind as well. So, Midge, you're partially in that. You're going to have to make another save, as are 3 of your wolves.
Alright, I'll do the 3 wolves first. I think their strength is just plus... Oh, it's a strength save? I don't know why I said that like it mattered. It's +1.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Manda.
Oh, my wolves get up attacks?
Yeah, do the saves first, though.
So one of them fails. This is mine. With wolf strength, I have...
Hashtag wolf strength.
That last one's mine. Awoo!
Alright, so the 2 wolves... Well, how many hit points do these wolves have?
They only have 11. So the one that failed is gone. It poofs.
Which one was that?
It was in the middle, so I guess like the middle one. This one maybe.
Alright, poof. And the other
and
2
I'm
take...
doing... Yeah, I'm doing HP.
Okay, so the other 2 both take... Yeah. And you also take 8 bludgeoning yourself. You're off of your wolf hit points. Now...
Yep.
In the process of moving over there, it did provoke opportunity attacks from 2 of your wolves, so they can make those attacks if you desire.
Can you make your op attacks with pack tactics if you would normally get pack tactics? Yeah, because they were right next to each other.
Yes, you do have advantage on these.
Yikes, they are not... Oof, they're not rolling too hot.
Unfortunately,
I don't think any of...
the wolves' teeth just bite through nothing but air. And not the right kind of air. So, that's it for the elemental. It's Ara's turn.
Alright, Ara's gonna move up some. And...
A lot of dangerous looking wolves here. Whose side are they on, really? Fireball, just to be sure.
I know, I'm just gonna fireball everything. No, I know that Midge is in there. pretty sure that the direwolf is familiar looking. So I am going to cast Magic Missile on the one that's like got the direwolf wrapped up. So one more, come on. There we go.
Alright, so your magic missiles streak through the air and strike solidly into the heart of this swirling creature, damaging it, partially dispersing the flowing winds that make it up. For 9 damage?
Yes. And I'm gonna eye the wolves warily, but hope that they're on our side. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, Roscoe. So, Roscoe is not yet possessed. Oh shit, hold on.
Is this Roscoe's first possession?
Yeah, I think it
It
is.
is.
But this turn he's just going to do what Will said he was going to do. So he's technically not possessed yet. He's still himself. He's going to cast Shadow Blade. And he's going to throw it. Shadow Blade is one of his spells. He's got to move into a better position here. And he'll do his Shadow Blade attack. How does Pack Tactics work?
Advantage on your attack roll. Although he does it weird, he rolls like 4 total. Or
Actually,
he rolls twice.
Yeah, he gets,
Only
gets, like,
the
double
wolf gets advantage. The allies don't get advantage.
For Roscoe's thing?
For Pack Tactics. I'm looking at it right now.
doesn't Roscoe have like double advantage on something or whatever with his rolls?
Yeah, I feel like Roscoe has his own thing. But yeah, the wolves get Pack Tactics if the wolves' allies are within 5 feet of.
Yeah, but I don't think Roscoe has advantage here. So, here's what he's gonna do. He's gonna come to here, and he's gonna use his bonus action to hide. So he can attack from stealth, ideally. And the perception of the elemental is not great. So with his bonus action he can hide, and then he can sort of pop out from stealth and throw his thing. And he will have advantage. And when he has advantage, he gets to roll 3 times because of his elven accuracy feat.
Oh.
Oh.
So that's a 21. So that hits. So the Shadow Blade is going to do 17 Psychic and 9 Sneak Attack for a total of 26 Psychic damage. The Elemental is going to take all of that. What did I say? 26? And then he moves back. Alright, Katrin can't do anything right now. Back to Azar's turn.
Alright, I'm going to move up to here. And let me see. At this point, I don't really feel... It doesn't seem like I need to really pull out any of the big spells or anything yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Which is one of my very few damage-causing spells.
Does not save. Unfortunately, he rolled lower on the D12s.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, D12s. It does hurt it, though. If the sounds of rushing winds could make the sound of pain, that is what you'd be hearing. As another small burst of air pulses forth from it in all directions.
I really wish I had my clothes right about now.
It is kind of chilly.
Your clothes. I found a set of pants over when we came down. Are they yours?
Probably not, but keep them in mind. Might need them.
I knew they'd be very important someday. Didn't think it would be this soon, but excellent.
Nox has learned. Hey, Nox has learned an important goddamn lesson. In Dungeons and Dragons, pantaloons are always worth keeping. That's how you get the big metal unit. Yeah.
That's eventually how they get their comeuppance.
Oh, here we go. I knew it wouldn't be long before he'd say come up, ants.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that's it for Azar, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Alright, Wolf's turn.
When they're talking about pants from inside the air elemental, Midge is like, maybe we can talk about that a little bit later. Ow!
Wait, you're
This
a
thing
wolf.
really, ow! Oh yeah, she's saying, ow, 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 ow! Alright, the first two wolves are going after this one.
Alright, now they have pack tactics, so they get advantage.
So a 20 and a 15.
They both hit.
These are non-magical attacks, unfortunately.
Right.
For a total of 13, but non-magical, and then 1, 2.
And then what?
Sorry, I was counting. And then 5 are attacking the other one.
Alright. Yeah, it does seem to have reduced effect, their teeth, on this thing.
So I think 1, 2, 3, 4 would hit.
4 would hit.
Okay.
One of them breaks their teeth.
There's nothing to
Aw.
break them on, though.
Your own teeth.
So that's all the damage rolls?
Yeah, those are the damage roll.
A total of 12. It takes. As the wolves nip and bite, snarling, tearing away small fragments of its coalesced, magically adhered airy essence. Sending puffs of wind every which way. Is that it for the wolves?
Yep, that's all of them.
All right. This air elemental here. Is going to... It's kind of getting pounded, literally, by a whole bunch of wolves. It's going to attempt to slam with a airy fist. One of these wolves. The one immediately to the right of it.
Ooh, that will hit, and if it's this one, that one's gone. It had 3 hit points.
So there's a terrible cracking sound with a whimper as the summoned wolf fades out of existence.
Ouch.
Then it will slam again on the one directly south of it. But it does not manage to hit the wolf. What's the wolf's AC?
It is 13.
It does not manage to hit that wolf. Nimbly dodges out of the way. Okay. That's it for the air elemental. Makes it Midge's turn.
Mama Wolf is not happy. Midge is gonna bite at the one that is attacking, punching her.
Right,
and I was wrong. I think last time I said that in Wild Shape, my attacks are magical. They are not. That was Moon Druid that I was thinking of.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were Moon Druid. Which Druid are you?
No, I'm land.
Oh.
I'm Swamp Druid.
Oh.
And I don't think these guys can be knocked prone, huh?
Nope.
Alright, and that part doesn't matter. Ugh. For 8. But not 8.
But actually 4. Alright, so you satisfyingly grab down on a slightly more solid strand of air and rip it away, but it seems to have had little impact on the overall integrity of the creature. And then you stay where you are?
Yep, I'm gonna stay there.
Alright, Sardick.
No, that's not how you toll the dead. You've got to feel it, lad. You have to truly make them feel remorse for their actions. Like this. With every exhale, you expire. Fear, for you may become history.
Wait, you may become what?
History.
Oh my god.
Oh, Nox. Oh, Nox.
And the bell of doom sounds on nigh.
As you make that joke, Roscoe falls in a pit. Alright. Anyway, toll the dead time, huh?
Yes.
It does not save. So it takes 12?
12.
And it does not resist the necrotic damage. So this thing is looking like it's barely sort of holding itself together. I mean, it still looks pretty strong, but it's definitely badly hurt.
And Sardick will go a bit forward and try to assess the situation. And that'll be it.
Alright. This elemental is going to... It'll go ahead and provoke opportunity attacks from 3 of your wolves. Because it's going to move. Tiff.
Oh, you want me to roll them first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Alright, 2 of them hit.
And the 12 is the damage, or half.
Alright, that seems to have only a small effect, but it's gonna move over to here. And it's going to unleash a whirlwind yet again. So both of your wolves need to save first.
Are you enjoying this? Are you having fun flinging my wolves around?
Oh, I forgot about the flinging part. Last time when somebody...
I think they died. These wolves will die from the damage if they fail. Like, they won't get a chance. So, wolf 1 and wolf 2. The second one fails.
Alright, the
And this
second one
is-
fails. But even though it's dead, it can still be
roll for me.
flung at somebody.
And Midge
So-
rolled the 15.
Alright, Midge is not going to take the damage either. I mean, she's going to take half. Alright, so Midge takes 8. Your northernmost wolf takes 8. Your southernmost wolf is going to die and get flung at Ara, flying through the air. This, of course, the wolf just disappears as soon as it dies, right? Is that how it works with the summon?
Yeah, it is a, technically it is a fey spirit that takes the form of this. So, let me see.
It says it disappears.
It disappears when it drops to 0.
Alright, so it doesn't have a chance to get flung at anybody, because it just vanishes.
It starts, but it just goes poof.
It comes flying at Ara, but then disappears, yeah, before it hits her.
Alright. Losing face. What? What?
I don't know.
I quit.
Alright, it's Ara's turn.
Alright, Ara is going to aim at the one still holding on to Midge.
Now
And
both of them
she's
are kind of
going-
holding on to Midge.
Yeah. I'm actually going to cast this at a higher level and try to hit both of them. So, that one... For the first 2, I mean for the one originally that was holding her. I know the 26 hits, but does the 15?
The 15 does not, because it has cover from the other elemental in front of it.
Okay.
The 26 hits, and then you had... How many more raised do you get?
2 more, because I'm casting it at a higher level.
And they're gonna both go on the other one?
Yeah, the one that's actually blocking the other one.
Okay. All those hit.
Nice.
So it's taking
Alright.
fire damage, which it doesn't resist. So the one in the back is going to take 8 fire damage as you burn away part of the air in a bright flash of fire. The one in front takes 21.
Yeah.
The air goes to rush out as part of its form is disrupted, but it's immediately consumed by the flame with a sort of brief sucking sound as the air is sucked into the fire. What else are you gonna do?
I'm gonna move up. And that'll end my turn.
Alright, it's Roscoe's turn. So Roscoe has now officially become possessed by Valgara for the first time. His eyes roll back and become white. He shudders, and you hear Valgara's voice coming out of Roscoe's body. Ah! I walk again! Show me my enemies! I will smite them!
Is this normal? Is this something he does?
Oh, please don't ask. Smite away, smitey smiter. And I point at the air.
Yeah, I imagine when he split into, well, the two of you, that he must have invited Valgara in, but it's all right. It's quite all
Ara can't take it. She just starts laughing.
Alright, he's going in. He wants to use Shadow Blade with Booming Blade. I don't know how he usually does this. No, I guess he'll just throw the Shadow Blade again like he did last time. So he'll try to hide first. And then he'll pop out and throw the Shadow Blade. Which definitely hits. For 17 psychic damage. The air elemental, the basic intellect that the creature has as it's pulled together by the magical forces that give it life. That in itself is assaulted. And it makes a sound of almost sorrow in the wind, if wind can said to be sorrowful. But then he's gonna move up some. Alright, Azar.
Alright. Still not perceiving this group as a big threat, so gonna keep tossing on Toll of Dead, and let's this time try and do it with a little bit of feeling. Yeah.
With feeling.
With feeling!
Oh, and this is for concentration. I think I'm good with a 16.
Okay. Alright. Feeling happens. And the creature does not save against it, so this necrotic energy eats away at the magical binds, pulling this air together into a vaguely humanoid shape. And now both of them are looking quite diminished. Is that it?
Yep, that's about it.
Wolves.
Oh wait, they're both still alive? I thought this bottom one was gone.
No, both of the elementals are still alive, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
They're both on you.
Indeed
Wind
they
swirling
are.
around, kicking up all sorts of dust and small pebbles into your eyes, into your fur.
So
You look like a dog that was just pulled out of a clothes dryer. Fur is just sticking up in every direction.
These two are gonna attack the bottom one down.
They both hit.
Oh, I'm not rolling. Wow, those were all ones.
Wow, minimum, huh?
Holy crap. Alright, and then these three are at the other one. Woohoo!
Oh, 2 crits.
That's the first one, and then this is...
And the other one looks like it misses.
Right.
So total
the
of
two crit
11. Alright, that one looks like it is just barely clinging on to its existence. It's just a few wispy little swirls of air at this point. And it is its turn. It's pretty frustrated by what's happening here. So it's going to try to punch with its rapidly fading windy fist. The wolf directly to the east of it there.
Yep, 13 will hit.
Strikes it for 9. The wolf is still alive, so it's going to hit it again. And that wolf is destroyed.
Aw, that wolf is gone.
And then it's gone. And that's it for the elemental. And now it's Midge's turn.
They both look pretty rough.
Well, they both look pretty rough, but the one to the east looks really extra rough.
Alright, well, it's also been the one that's been punching my wolves again. These are at the one that's been punching and killing my wolves.
Alright, you hit it. Oh, and now you got a good damage roll. Alright, how do you want to do this? Narrate the wolf killing air elemental.
The wolf like licks its chops. It has a taste for this weird air now, and it chomps down and somehow manages to get like I was gonna say meaty, but that's not the right word for it, but just like a mouthful, and its head kind of like pushes through the wind and like dissipates it, and then Midge like raises her head up and howls in victory, and the other 4 wolves start howling too.
Nice. It's a howling chorus. Alright, victory. You do anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Sardick.
Yes, that one was good. Excellent. That's the way to do it. That final breath. The final exhale.
Ooh.
Breathe your last, beast.
Ooh, look at all that damage. 21 damage?
Yes, it is.
How do you want to do this?
Thy final breath, thy final exhalation. Breathe your last, beast. I send this note from on high. And the sound of a dolorous bell just erupts from it. And you just see the wind and the disruptions just sort of begin to start to settle as the form begins to just kind of dissipate, and any sort of papers or little debris in the area just settle down and just, with a sigh, it's dispersed and gone.
And suddenly, the air is still. The hallway is now quiet. That rushing wind sound that was echoing off the walls this entire time is finally silenced. Where the two elementals were are two small spheres of swirling air floating off of the ground.
Ooh. Well, Azar is gonna get all up in that.
Midge would like to bite down on one very gently and just have it, like, in her maw.
Roscoe Valgara says, "What happened to her?" And he goes over to see what's going on with Catherine.
Well, that's a rather difficult situation. One of the aberrations got to her. Bugbear was slain, and this horrible, intellectually devouring creature came in and got her before we could strike her. Strike it.
All right. You said you were biting down on one of the spheres?
Very gently, like, essentially just to pick it up, not to, like, chew on it or...
Don't
You
know
feel it
that's-
trying to flow into your throat like a breath of air, and it's very sweet air. Do you allow yourself to breathe it in, or do you cough it out?
I think as a wolf, she would, Midge would just kind of, like, spit it out in surprise and look at it.
Okay. Alright, you want to make an Arcana check there, Scito?
I sure do. Because I am all about the power.
You're not sure. You can tell that these are now objects that can be picked up and taken with you. And obviously they're magical, but you're not really sure what their properties would be, if anything.
I recommend collecting these. Does anyone have a bottle or something that can hold them?
Will they fit into the vials from the healing potions that I had?
Yeah, you think you could get
Alright.
them in there?
Alright, so I'll pick them up and collect them and put them in the vial.
Well, that was
All right.
thoroughly bracing. Now, now that we have a moment, I should note that I did rather come into this dungeon with rather more, and he sort of looks down at himself, rather more in the way of clothing and supplies than I do have now. I'm wondering if we could perhaps try and recollect my belongings?
I'm a wolf, I can't speak.
Where are they?
That's the crux of the matter. When I saw the goblins, they were heading to the south where I was. They said something about Big Ear's watch poke. If that makes any sense to any of
Yeah,
you.
we're not going any further south, so we're gonna have to buy you new clothes.
Well,
Naranad.
it's not just clothing, it's also a spell book I had there. It's very important I recover that.
No.
Not to mention...
Are
some
as
other-
adamant. No.
Well, I'm hoping that we could go to the south. We could, of course, head up first, I suppose, and then return, but I must insist that we head to the south at some point. If it would be not too much of a burden.
Ara looks around at everyone else. She's very adamant.
Midge does that dog thing and puts like a paw over her face and like leans down.
Nice. So, yeah, I like Direwolf Midge has her own Instagram. Meanwhile, over there by Katrin, Roscoe Valgara is like slapping Katrin in the face. Come on, snap out of it! And like shaking her roughly by the shoulder like a rag doll.
No, enough of that. We've tried things like that already.
We beat her already.
I don't even have my magic isn't even strong enough to bring her out of this.
I never laid a hand on babies.
No,
I laid one staff, one quarterstaff, one.
You didn't just hit the baby. You hit the baby with a weapon.
That was so fucking great. So she's like, hold on, let me try this swap. I was like, what are you doing?
Alright, so who has the two strange air spheres that have been put into bottles now?
I do.
Are you gonna let her take both of them, Azar?
Well, I'm not wearing any clothes. I don't really have anywhere to put them right now, so I'm fine with her carrying them, I suppose.
Alright. So, Roscoe Valgara looks at Sardick and says, Can't you do something about this? We can't just keep dragging her around. It's shameful. This is my wife.
I know. I've been trying to treat her with as much dignity as possible down in this place. If only I had stronger materials, I'd be able to do something. I tried sensing any diamonds in the area, but I wasn't able to. If I could just get my hands on some, I might actually be able to do something.
If you could just what?
Get my hands on some diamonds. Some of my more powerful healing magics are powered by them, just like when I had to revive Midge after those shadow creatures laid waste.
Well, don't worry, I'll carry her. So then, using Roscoe's body, Valgara attempts to pick Katrin and all her stuff up and carry it, and finds that he is not strong enough to do so.
No, wait. Not even two of you would have been able to do that. Speaking of, now I know you're inhabiting the original Roscoe. Are you also inhabiting the other one as well?
What are you talking about? There's not another one?
There's two of you. He fell down a pit and he kind of split into two people. It's a thing that he apparently does. I went to rescue him and I saw that both of them were coming out of the pit.
I don't know anything about this magic stuff, but you're ridiculous. That didn't happen.
I wouldn't have believed if I didn't see it with my own eyes. He just went and fell down the pit, and I went to rescue him, and, I put a hand out, and there were two of them rising right out of the pit. Same heights and everything.
Alright, what are the rest of you doing?
I suppose I'm gonna go over here, see what's going on.
How long can you keep these wolves?
I have them for an hour, and I was actually wondering, so technically I have to give them a verbal command to do something, otherwise they just, will hang out. But since I am a wolf, could I give them commands as...
Yeah, I would say yes. As a wolf, you can communicate with wolves.
if Katrin still has that like blanket kind of around her, then Midge would tell the wolves to like start dragging the blanket and like essentially being like sled dogs move.
Valgara's like, what the hell are these wolves doing here? What are you doing? Get away from her! Roscoe's trying to shoo them away.
Well, you see, Valgara, Midge transformed into a wolf, and the stress of combat, she had puppies right here, and they're dragging her.
So, now Sardick believes 2 different members of the party have had a child while in the dungeon, or children.
Oh, yes.
Said, is anyone else pregnant?
I'm sorry. Who was pregnant previously?
Well, Ara over there. She had her baby down by the pillars. There was Halaster trapped us in a force cage, and I didn't realize she came down pregnant. I wouldn't have let. Well, I didn't know Midge was pregnant either. I don't know if you have to shift into like if one form is pregnant. And, well, anyway, yeah, she had a baby drow right there, just right in the dungeon.
So you're saying that? All right, I'm just going to take a wild guess. Did you happen to come down here with another drow by any chance?
Oh, right, yeah. He was the father. He ran off because she had her baby right there, and he just couldn't take the social stresses of it. I really wouldn't mention that to her. It's a sore subject, a very sore subject.
Right. I'm just going to assume that what you're actually referring to was a polymorph spell, likely a powerful one, that transformed your companion into a child.
I don't know. That sounds really far-fetched. I mean, I was in sort of a religious trance at the time, and when I came out, she had a baby right there, all swaddled up.
Yes, I'm just... It seems a little bit questionable to have had a child in a dungeon and be none the worse for wear.
I mean, I mean, Drow, they live in the Underdark, right? I mean, the dungeons and stuff are their home. They probably just, wander around, and then, if they're in the dungeon, they have a baby, and they just keep calm and carry on, I suppose.
Right. I'm... Out of curiosity, it was mentioned to me that you were previously under the effects of an intellect devourer. How precisely were you returned to this, I'm imagining, partial state of intelligence?
Well, it was an odd sort of experience. I remember I was trying to beat down those creatures, and I had my spirit in front of me, and I was bringing it down from on high, and then suddenly everything just sort of faded, just slowed right down, and I saw the Wyvern Jack's horns right in front of me there, and I was trying to concentrate on him, and then there was some weird voice. It was just talking all this gibble gabble, something about a play, and there was a man and the woman, and then I don't know, it got all weird. It was like I was listening to some sort of one of those bizarre Waterdeep plays or whatnot. But anyway, I was listening to this, and I said, this is absolutely ridiculous what I'm hearing here. There was odd things, and it was, starting to praise things on the dark realms and, the far realms and all that sort of stuff. And, I just tuned it out, and I focused upon my faith, and my faith carried me through, and it made me completely resist the effects of those creatures. May Hathor and the Wyvern Jack be praised.
Far realm. That's rather interesting. You have an artifact of the Far realm.
But you should know that your other half here, Roscoe. Well, now he's inhabited Valgar. His book there. He's got some odd things that he's able to do with it. Well, I remember we were coming back one time, I think last time, to the Yawning Portal, and the book just opened right by itself, and these odd, bizarre creatures just ripped themselves out of the pages and started attacking us right there.
Really? Azar is going to be looking at the book very, very with great intrigue.
Well, I mean, the book's in Roscoe's pack, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Roscoe has.
He's just going to be looking at Roscoe with great intrigue. And what is this precisely with the change in personality? Is that some other effect of this Far Realm artifact?
Oh, you mean Valgara? No, that's Katrin's wife there. Every so often, she tends to take over one of us, and well, she kind of hangs out with us for a while, and does that sort of thing. I was just trying to calm her down. She's quite lifelike this.
Really? And in his head, Azar is sort of making mental notes of all this. All of this is proving incredibly interesting. I don't suppose I could have a look at that book.
So Roscoe actually growls in your direction. You just stay away from me and my stuff. Don't even think about it. We need to be getting Katrin to somewhere where she can be fixed. What are we doing standing around here? What is Midge and Ara doing right now?
Well, I was gonna ask because I only have an hour on the conjure animals. While all of that conversation's been happening, can we have been moving? And the wolves would have been dragging Katrin in the blanket, not like just dragging her.
Oh, dragging her which direction?
Unless she gets told otherwise, Midge is gonna keep moving through this tunnel.
Okay. So this is happening, I guess. Roscoe tried to sort of stop the wolves from dragging her at first, but then he just gives into it because he realizes he can't move her. So he just lets it happen. He just lets it happen, and he follows along. So they're having this conversation while you're kind of moving further down the hall here. So you can go ahead and get around the corner, in which you see a small room. Kind of looks like it might have once been a guard room. There's some really old, like, basically crumbled to dust furniture. A battered, rusty iron helm, a battered suit of leather armor, a couple halves of a shattered wooden shield, a broken off rusty longsword, a rotten quiver, some broken arrows, and an old longbow with the string snapped. Basically a whole bunch of really old, bad condition, broken gear, essentially, laying around. And Midge, as you get a little further in, you do detect something strange about the wall over here to the west.
Midge, first, when she sees all that junk, she would, like, bay happily and then turn around and, like, look at Sardick and then look at all the junk and then and then she'll come over and look at the wall and try to inspect it.
Look at all this stuff that someone left over here. It's amazing what people just sort of leave around. Oh, speaking of things that were left around, these pants, did they belong to you? And he's just going to sort of pull the pants that he had gotten from the entry room out and kind of wave them over by Azar, as he's also beginning to pick up the things that are around in the area.
These pants are old and crusty and like encrusted with blood and filthy.
No, those aren't my pants.
Are you sure? They look kind of like their size.
No, not my pants. Thank you for the offer, though.
I really think he wants them. I think he's just being polite. You should keep trying.
Well, I mean, just, with a little bit of touching up, these should be quite fine here. But, well, if you say they're not yours, well, maybe the next time Roscoe splits apart, maybe that one, maybe those are his pants, I don't know, but let me see here. All this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you have found some new stuff, Sardick.
What things exactly have I found?
You found a rusty battered helm, a tattered suit of leather armor, 2 halves of a shattered wooden shield, a rusty broken off longsword, a rotting quiver, several broken arrows, and an old longbow with a snapped string. And there is something weird going on with this wall over here by Midge. You'd have to investigate it to find out more.
Alright, Azar will do that.
I maintain my mental stats. Can I also investigate?
Sure.
Sardick will begin the process of mending the shield as they...
So, what is it exactly you're looking at here?
Midge gives Azar like just a look, and then looks back at the wall and like concentrates very.
Alright, let me take a look here.
Alright. It'll take you several castings of mending, but you can restore
shit.
the shield to... Ooh.
Well...
Yeah, you don't think there's anything weird about this wall. You don't know what the hell Midge is talking about. Actually, Midge isn't even talking. She's in wolf form, but... You don't know why this wolf is obsessed with this wall, because as far as you can tell, it's a completely normal wall.
The wall seems completely normal to me. I'm not quite sure why you're so interested by it, I'm afraid.
Does 10 reveal anything or not?
No. I mean, you can tell the wall is not normal, but you can't find any specific hidden things.
In that case, Midge will lick the wall.
Nice. Would you like to lick the wall?
Do I taste anything?
You taste
blood and
dust.
death.
You taste dust, which has been... Like, have you guys ever had a ceiling fan and you leave it on for a long time and then you turn off the fan and the whole top of it is like just caked with this like dark dust that's just collected on there that whole time while it was spinning around? Well, that's what this wall is like.
I remember when you did that, Josiah. You were basically saying, "Oh, I'm going to turn off my fan," and then you were like, "Oh, that's really gross. I'm actually just going to turn this right back on."
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to avoid it and just put the fan on.
Because of all this swirling wind, all the dust has been like pasted onto the walls, essentially.
I'm gonna see Midge doing this. Like, I trust Midge's instincts, and if she like is so focused on something enough to lick it, even though it looks disgusting,
You just see like a big
I'm gonna
red
come
tongue
over.
mark left on the wall.
I'm gonna come over and kind of take a look. I don't think I'll be much more help, but I will help her out. If she wants to investigate again, I could give her some help and give her advantage, or I can do it myself. It's up to her.
Well, why don't you try it? Wow.
We'll never figure this out.
I look at her and I go, "No, girl. Roscoe didn't fall down a well again."
Midge looks dejected, but we'll walk away.
Oh.
What are you all doing over there by that wall? Is there something over there? Do I have to do everything as usual?
I I don't speak canine, only bovine, but I think that she's trying to indicate there might be possibly a secret door over there or something, but I'm not sure.
Or how did she react to the licking? Like, how did you react, Midge, to the lick to the
She's
wall?
like a dog, like coughing up, like.
I don't think it's anything tasty, but
Nice.
she seemed focused, and we all know Midge well enough to know that if she's focused on something, it's because there's something there, or something caught her eye. I don't see it.
All right. Roscoe's gonna have a look. Oh my god.
No.
Holy shit.
Roscoe finds all the
He
secret
threw the
doors in
wall.
the entire dungeon.
Top
We just
bottom.
warp back to the area we were trying to get.
He finds a secret passage that leads straight to Halaster.
Game done.
Oh no, thank you.
Game over. No, he does find a secret door though, and is able to easily open it.
Midge looks very smug as a wall.
I'm gonna scritch behind her ear.
She's gonna give Ara a lick with her dusty tongue.
I will. When she's not looking, I'll kind of just pet her. And when she's not looking, I'll press the digitate it.
So there's another little hallway, and by the way, you guys noticed there's another door to the northeast as well.
We're never getting out of here.
No, we're not. Ara's like insisting, let's go this way. It's not south.
Why does she have such an aversion to going south?
Because we need to go back north to get back up. South is the exact opposite of north. I want to go north. And at that, I'd be like, I want to see Varys.
Midge, with your keen wolf ears, before you turned away from the wall, you did detect the slight squeaking sound of what sounded like a giant rat to the south.
I really wish Midge could talk right now. Alright, Midge holds up a paw as if to say, like, 1 second, and she's gonna just dart in.
Alright, you don't see anything. Passageway. What kind of vision do you have as a dire wolf?
Oh shoot! I don't have dark vision. Never mind. I can't dart in. I'm used to having
Very
Katrin
dark in there.
Yeah, never mind. I'm used to having Katrin on me with her light, so I don't dart in.
I mean, you've got a few feet of dim light from Roscoe's sword, but that doesn't illuminate much of the passage.
Midge looks from the passageway to Ara, and then to the passageway, and then to Ara, and then she kind of actually like sighs and like hunches a bit, and then we'll actually just walk next to Ara.
Okay, so what do you guys do now?
Ara's gonna kneel down, and she's gonna say to Midge, once we're like back up and we do the things we need to do, we're gonna find your friend.
Yeah. Midge nods.
And she's gonna go over here.
By the way, is Valgara making a map using Roscoe's map and still
I would say no. While Vargara is possessing Roscoe, he's not bothering with the mapping.
Logic would probably state that we'll probably come back this way when Roscoe is not possessed.
Probably. It might be a good time then, since our cartographer is a bit indisposed at the moment. I don't think the other Roscoe's mapping at all, but it might be a good time to just simply head back up to the Yawning Portal.
Well,
Aranos, I couldn't agree more.
all right. Would anyone be willing to get me some clothes though while we're up there?
Oh right, I do have these pants if you'd like.
No, I don't want the pants. I don't want them. They're not mine.
I've got this leather armor that I just found. That might be a good fit for you.
Yeah, I didn't really use armor.
It's all full of holes and like barely holding itself together.
You keep that. It's probably safer with you.
I do have a second set of clothes, but you're not exactly my size.
I don't want to wear your clothes. No.
I don't know exactly what else I can offer you then. I found this helm on the floor. Maybe that would help.
Ara goes, when we get up there, we will find something for you.
Thank you.
And she looks at everyone. She says, do we want to just backtrack or do we want to go through this door and see what happened?
Well, thus far, from what your reactions have been so far, it would seem that you've been delving ever deeper into this dungeon without finding your way out. Josiah, does Azar have an idea as to the path back out by backtracking?
I would say no, because you don't know how you got to where you actually are right now, because you were unconscious for a while in the hands of the goblinoids and they moved you somewhere. So when you came out of that pit, you were in unfamiliar surroundings. Now, if you can get back to a place that you know you've been before, then yeah, you could find your way back out.
Right, so perhaps it would be best to retrace our steps rather than simply just continue to stumble through doors and the like.
Ara looks at everyone else for their opinion. She doesn't know this guy or trust him, so...
Well, if we are going to do that, at least I have some of my stronger magics still available to me to try dispelling some barriers that are set up over by the entry.
Well, backtrack it is. At least this way we know what we might run into.
Sounds good to me. I could use an ale.
And I think your wife could
use
use
an
a bit of
exorcism.
restoration.
I hope you've all collected enough treasure to pay for that.
You mean you don't have any in sort of a divine spiritual bank, a mint of heaven, perhaps?
A mint of heaven.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Well, I suppose if you don't head in that general direction, I don't know if there's a mint of the underworld. That's not quite in the scope of my my religious knowledge, but...
Alright, so are you guys heading back the way you came then?
It would seem.
That
Yeah,
seems to be the plan.
Do you think we should close the secret door before we go?
Yeah.
Alright, you close it. Alright, now I
Sardick
need
will
to know,
thaumaturgically close it.
are you moving at full speed, not bothering to look around carefully even because you've already been through this area, or are you still moving at the careful speed?
I think Ara would suggest caution just because things change or potentially could.
I feel like probably careful speed so that some of us don't fall in any more pits and that kind.
Plus, aren't we still carrying, like, dragging Midge?
The wolves will be dragging her for a while. Okay, well, let's see. Let me see if you're gonna run into anything on your way back. You'll go through here. You'll go through here. You'll go back through here.
I think that we would also use caution for the fact that we know we didn't kill all the Gloomstalkers in the last fight.
Very true.
That's true. I wonder where they are. I wonder if you'll ever see them again.
Probably.
Alright. We'll make it simple. You managed to make it back all the way to the blood wall with no untoward encounters. Between the time that you've spent messing around in this room and hanging out and talking in the hall and everything, and this slow, careful journey back through, I'm going to say an hour has passed. The wolves disappear just as you get to the blood wall. 1 hour has come off of all of your spells, so the aid and this mage armor are 1 hour down now.
Ara's thinking in her head, it took us 4 days to get to this, to get back. It took an hour. Maybe it'll be that easy getting back to that spot.
I would have 3 more hours that I can stay in this wolf form. So if we're going to continue moving, we can re-tie Katrin to the dire wolf, and she'll carry Katrin.
So you're still in direwolf form this whole time, right?
Yeah. I can stay in my wild shape for 4 hours total.
Alright, hold on. Let me grab all the tokens and move them over there.
We're fusing into one like Voltron.
Yes. And Midge
Nothing can
forms the
defeat us.
head. Alright, you're back at the blood wall. You can separate yourselves out now as you desire.
He's keeping that wall up for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, Azar, you've came down this hallway originally, but this was not here when you were here before. It looks like a wall that completely covers the entire passage, floor to ceiling, made of churning and roiling blood.
Alright. So, can I do an Arcana check on this one?
Yes, you can. Very nice. This is very powerful magic. Like, this is beyond even what you would consider a top-tier spell that you could cast. It's obviously related to the ancient magics that imbue Undermountain. You think it can be dispelled, but it would be very difficult? Or you think there's probably some other thing that it is keyed to allow it to open, but you have no idea what that would be? You also think that there is inherent danger in trying to touch the wall or attack it or even dispel it. That there is something that can be triggered.
Right. Well, based on my examination of the wall, it would seem that this is very powerful magic. Specifically, it's also very dangerous magic. If we were to touch or attempt to dispel the magic, it could lead to disastrous consequences. However, I do believe this wall is key to something. If we can find whatever this key is, we may be able to bypass the wall.
Sardick will kind of frown and rub his beard as he thinks thoughtfully. So you're saying even trying to dispel it could possibly have some really nasty consequences?
Precisely.
Still, I mean, if you'd all like to go up, I'm willing to try. If you want to stay back, I'll go ahead and attempt to dispel this myself.
I must warn you, this might not be the wisest course of action. Do I have any sense whatsoever of what the key could be?
None. So, Roscoe Valgara says, well, yeah, if you're going to try it, let's just go around the corner here. Here, somebody help me get Katrin over there. Starts trying to drag Katrin back around the corner.
Midge will help drag Cat.
So, is everybody clearing out and Sardick's going to attempt to dispel it?
I'm gonna stand down here and I'm gonna get a healing potion ready in case he needs it.
Okay.
Sardick will begin by invoking the benevolence of the nurturing mother. Oh, harmony.
Is there any way I could assist with the dispelling of the magic?
Not really.
Okay, well,
Unless
I'm
you
gonna
had... Do you have the spell Dispel Magic yourself?
Nope.
Okay, if you both had it, you could maybe, like, joint cast it or something, but maybe. That would require an Arcana check.
So Sardick's going to bless himself, and in the process, he'll bless who he can see. So that would probably be the closest ones would be Ara and Midge. And then continuing his prayer, he's going to invoke, this magic doth oppose my aims. Upon it, mother, divinely great.
Alright. You need to make a wisdom check. Just base wisdom, not a wisdom saving throw, just a wisdom ability check.
Okay. I'm really tempted to spend inspiration on that. You know what? I'll do it. I'll spend inspiration on that.
Alright. So there goes your inspiration. But with your inspiration, you have successfully dispelled it.
Yes!
Huzzah!
As you do so, however, I need you to call high or low.
The Blessed Mother sits on high, so I will call high.
Roll a d20.
Oh.
Okay. a blazing bright rune appears in the air, coming out of the wall as you dispel it. This rune is... Oh, we've had this one before. It is once again Lemath, the Rune of Security. And its effect is not really that terrible. For the next 24 hours, you cannot gain advantage.
Okay, I will take that.
Actually, kind of a small price to pay.
Trust me, it can be way, way worse.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I don't mind invoking the inspiration now, since I wouldn't be able to gain advantage anyway, so that kind of worked.
Alright, so you've managed to dispel the blood wall, though. Congratulations.
Hopefully we can make it back up without any more issue.
You will now not be required to get the other thing that you needed.
Thank goodness.
Excellent work.
Alright, everyone, hurry through before it closes again.
Thank you. I had faith in the mother.
And the way is clear. Back to the well room at last.
And does everything look perfectly normal in here?
Everything does look exactly as it was when you were here before. Which is to say, sand on the floor, shields on the walls. All of the little knickknacks and items that were here you've taken, so...
Ara's gonna put the required gold in the bucket and tug.
See, I remember this room. Those pants I showed you, they were right over there, just sitting right in the sand.
Oh, all right. I okay. Don't need the pants. Pants don't need them. I'm good.
Pants are overrated.
All right, I mean, you are about to go up into the Society of the Yawning Portal, but if you prefer not to have the pants, then so be it. I mean...
I've had to do worse.
Sardick, he just doesn't want to take anything from you. He knows how much you like your stuff.
Oh yes, that's quite charitable of him indeed.
It's him. It's not him being rude or polite, however you want to look at it. It's just he doesn't want to take anything that you've collected because you've worked hard for it.
Well, thank you. It was quite an effort to acquire all these treasures.
Did somebody bring Katrin into this room too?
Yeah, we would have tied...
She was on...
Well,
Yeah, she was on Midge.
yeah,
Oh, right. On the wolf's back. Okay, so is she tied on, or is she just... we just kind of resting her there and...
She would be tied on.
Midge is okay with this again?
Yeah. Love you, baby.
Alright. There seems
I
to be
love you
some-
too!
Sorry, I'm on the phone. I'm on TikTok and I'm on the phone, and I got my two buttons confused. But I do love you guys. And yes, she's tied on.
There seems to be some delay. in the platform coming down for you.
Oh no.
See, I told him he should have upgraded his winch system. This wouldn't have happened if he listened to me. It wouldn't have happened.
Uh-oh.
Sardick will wait, and then he'll tap
that-
his foot.
His hoof.
Hoof.
Did they pull the bucket up already, or is that delayed as well?
Yeah, well, basically, you have to pull on the rope enough to lift the bucket up to them. And it also rings a bell up there.
Oh, okay, so I would have been doing that while we were conjugating.
Yeah, but after that, it seems like the amount of time that it would normally take for them to respond, it seems like it's taking longer than that. And Midge, you can hear from way up at the top of the wheel, just barely, what sounds like raised voices, like almost like some people are arguing or something. But you can't, it's too far away for you to make out what they're saying.
Midge will kind of like sit right beneath the well, like hole, and look up and just start like whining and then looking at everyone else and then looking back. But just like making sounds of distress.
Can Sardick walk up the well? Wasn't he able to before?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, Sardick was actually about to do that if he sees this.
I mean, technically, I paid for him already, so.
By all that's holy, you know, you'd think if they'd have this system that they'd watch it more carefully. And he's just going to kind of pace around, and then he's going to pace back and forth a little bit, and then one time he's just going to kind of just continue to pace up the wall, up it, and just begin to go straight up and kind of walk all the way up and see what's going on up.
Alright, you get about halfway up the well. And what's everyone else doing down at the bottom while he's doing this?
Watching
Midge
him.
is gonna position herself so that maybe she can, like, if he for some reason falls, she can soften. With Katrin still tied to her back.
A wolf catcher pillow.
Okay. Roscoe Malgar is impatient. He yells up the well. Hurry up! What's taking so long? Anyway, you're about halfway up, Sardick, and you see the platform up above now starting to descend down the well. And it pretty much fills the entire well now that they built this new platform, so it's coming down. So basically, you're going to have to go back down to get out of its way.
Okay, yeah, actually, can Sardick walk onto the bottom?
Yeah, but when it comes down to the ground, you're gonna be like crushed under it.
Well, I'm figuring he'll just jump off. He'll like leap to the side or something like that.
Oh yeah, you can.
And that was how Sardick lost his leg.
Nice.
It makes it slow descent.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going particularly slow, then yes, Sardick will just walk down the side of it. But yeah, otherwise, if there's any danger, he'll try to.
Everybody make a perception check.
Alright. And I'm going to do so through the eyes of my owl because I get advantage that way.
Okay.
Well, the advantage doesn't help much, but at least it's not 1.
Thanks,
Being
Al.
so near to the platform, do I get any sort of advantage to?
Yes. So Midge and Sardick, you realize that the platform as it's descending is kind of wobbling and shifting in a way that it wouldn't do if it were unoccupied. You're pretty sure there's someone or someones on the platform as it's coming down.
And actually, I just realized I can't get advantage on them due to the friendly
you
rune.
can't have advantage for anything. So only Midge really pieces this together.
And she's a wolf.
Can I tell who they are, like through my perception, or
No,
if
because
they
you can't
are
see.
human?
The whole wooden platform covers the whole thing, so you can't see through it. You can just see the bottom of it, and just by the way that it's moving, it's obvious that there's somebody on it, or more than one somebody.
Midge will kind of like step back a bit as the platform's descending, and like her hackles are kind of raised, and she's like watching this thing slowly.
All right. Finally, it reaches the bottom. I assume everybody gets out of the way so that it can not crush you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably, you know.
All right, so Aura will have to move a little bit.
Come on, Roll20. There you go.
All right, so this thing comes down. And you see on the platform 5 figures. All of them are armed and look ready to fight. You have seen them before.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing I haven't.
That's true. You haven't, Azar.
Who are they?
I bet it's those clowns. Those
Oh, they would
I was
never come
thinking
down.
that.
They're pussies.
The first person you notice is the hulking figure of some undetermined race that looks like this.
Ah.
Is a large muscular human that looks like this.
It's them.
these clowns. I didn't know the circus was in town.
Young human. This guy. The halfling.
Oh, Jesus. And there's
the
a
one
woman,
that
isn't there?
The one that you have seen to be the leader of this group. A very martial-looking, heavily armored, scarred woman with a face that brooks no nonsense. You recognize, coming down, armed for battle, tensed as though ready to attack, is the group known as Red Saber. And on that cliffhanger, we'll go ahead and stop a little bit early tonight.
Oh! I wanted some banter. And maybe a lightning bolt.
Well, now you have a week to think about what you're going to say to them.
But my sarcasm
Will
comes
to
so
be
much
here
better
for
under
this.
pressure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You've never seen them before, Scito, but everyone else has interacted with them in the past.
And none of us look pleased about it.
Yeah, they're not really your friends. And that's going to do it for tonight's episode. So, good times. Let me end my recording, and then we'll chat about it a little bit.
Okay.
So, thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This has been Beneath the Yawning Portal, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We'll see you next time.